66 million years ago, a blinding fireball tears through the sky, hurtling toward Earth with unstoppable fury. In an instant, it strikes, unleashing a cataclysm that engulfs the world in flames, ash, and darkness. The ground shakes, tsunamis roar, and the reign of the dinosaurs ends in a heartbeat. But amidst this apocalypse, a tiny creature, no larger than a mouse, clings to life in the treetops, its heart pounding as the world collapses. This is Purgatorius, our ancestor, defying the end of an era. But here's the question that haunts us. Was this cosmic disaster truly an accident, or was it orchestrated by forces beyond our understanding? Did an alien hand guide our survival, planting the seeds for humanity's rise? Welcome to the greatest mystery of all our own existence. Picture this moment. The skies are choked with dust, blocking the sun for years, turning lush forests into wastelands. The mighty tyrannosaurs and towering titanosaurs, rulers of the earth, crumble to dust. Yet, somehow, a fragile, furry creature survives, scurrying through the chaos, its sharp eyes scanning for scraps of food. How did it endure when giants fell? Was it sheer luck, or something more sinister? Some whisper of the Anunnaki, ancient beings from Sumerian tales, who might have engineered life survival, tweaking the genetic code to ensure our ancestors emerged from the ashes. Others point to the Tarim mummies, discovered in 2025 in China's deserts, their inexplicable European features hinting at a lost civilization, perhaps Atlantis itself, drowned in a forgotten deluge. Could these be clues to a hidden chapter in our story, one that science alone cannot explain? The history of humankind is no simple tale of evolution. It is a labyrinth of secrets, where every fossil unearths more questions than answers. Why do 20% of our genes trace back to a mysterious, unknown ancestor, a ghost lineage that science only began unraveling in 2025? Could this be evidence of extraterrestrial tampering, as some claim, pointing to the sudden leap in human intelligence driven by anomalies like the sRGAP2 gene? Or consider the elongated skulls found in Malta, their strange proportions sparking theories of ancient genetic experiments, or even contact with otherworldly beings. These are not just stories. They are enigmas that challenge everything we believe about who we are. Did our ancestors stumble upon fire by chance? Or were they taught by gods who walked among them? Was the Younger Dryas, a sudden climatic catastrophe 12,000 years ago, a natural event, or a deliberate reset of a civilization too advanced for its time? As we stand on the precipice of these mysteries, we must ask, are we truly the masters of our destiny, or pawns in a cosmic game? The Neanderthals, whose genes linger in our blood, vanished under circumstances we still cannot fully explain. Were they outcompeted, or was their extinction engineered? And what of the towering Gigantopithecus, a giant ape that roamed alongside our ancestors, only to vanish 200,000 years ago? Some speculate it was no mere victim of climate change, but a failed experiment of an ancient intelligence, perhaps the same force behind myths of Nordic aliens or Atlantean overlords. These questions burn like embers in the dark, urging us to dig deeper, to chase the shadows of our past. This is Mystery History for Sleep, where we unravel the threads of humanity's story, weaving science with the tantalizing unknown. I am your host, Mr. H, and I invite you to join me on this journey through time, where each episode peels back another layer of the enigma we call us. If you find yourself captivated by these mysteries, consider subscribing to our channel and ringing the bell to stay with us as we explore further. Tonight, we begin with the cataclysm that birthed our world, tracing the improbable survival of our ancestors through a landscape of fire and ice. So, close your eyes, let the questions swirl, and let us step into the unknown together, wondering, what if the truth about humanity is stranger than we ever dared imagine? 66 million years ago, the Earth screamed. A monstrous asteroid, a juggernaut of cosmic wrath measuring 10 to 15 kilometers across, slammed into what is now the Yucatan Peninsula, unleashing a nightmare of fire, ash, and quaking Earth. The impact, centered at the Chicxulub crater, released energy equivalent to billions of atomic bombs, vaporizing everything in its immediate radius. The skies turned black, choked with dust and soot, plunging the planet into a twilight where neither day nor night held sway. Tsunamis, towering hundreds of meters, ravaged coastlines, while earthquakes of unimaginable magnitude fractured the land. This was the KPG extinction event, the apocalypse that erased 75% of all life, including the mighty dinosaurs. But beneath the smoldering ruins, a question lingers, sharp and unsettling. Was this cataclysm a random stroke of fate, or a calculated act by an intelligence beyond our grasp? Did something, or someone, ensure that certain creatures survived to inherit the earth? In the aftermath, the world was a graveyard. Forests burned, oceans soured with acid rain, and the air grew thick with toxins. The towering titanosaur, stretching 37 meters long, and the ferocious tyrannosaur, once lords of creation, were reduced to bones buried in ash. Yet, in this desolate landscape, life clung on. Tiny mammals, no larger than rats, scurried through the underbrush, their hearts racing as they evaded the chaos. These were the survivors, the unlikeliest of heroes in a world turned hostile. Among them was Purgatorius, a creature so small it could fit in your palm, its beady eyes and nimble limbs adapted for a life high in the trees. But why them? Why did these fragile beings endure when giants perished? The answer may lie not just in their size or habits, but in whispers of a deeper mystery. Could an unseen force have shielded them, guiding their path toward becoming us? The science is clear on some points. The Chicxulub impact, confirmed by geologists Glenn Penfield and Antonio Camargo in the 1972nd, left a crater 180 kilometers wide, a scar still visible today. In 1980, the Alvarez hypothesis, proposed by father and son, Luis and Walter Alvarez, pointed to a layer of iridium, APU, a rare element abundant in meteorites, found across the globe in rocks dated to this precise moment. This iridium spike, discovered in Italy, Denmark, and New Zealand, screams of a cosmic collision. The fallout was catastrophic, a global firestorm ignited by debris re-entering the atmosphere, followed by a nuclear winter as dust blocked sunlight, halting photosynthesis and starving ecosystems. Yet, the survival of mammals like Purgatorius raises questions that science alone struggles to answer. Their small size allowed them to hide in burrows or treetops. Their omnivorous diets let them scavenge insects, seeds, or carrion, and their adaptability helped them endure the cold and famine. But was this enough? Or is there a hidden piece to the puzzle? Enter the realm of the unknown. Some theorists, fueled by posts on platforms like X, propose that the KPG extinction was no accident. They point to ancient Sumerian texts describing the Anunnaki, alleged extraterrestrial beings who manipulated Earth's history. Could they have engineered the survival of certain species, ensuring mammals rose to prominence? The idea sounds outlandish, yet recent discoveries keep the door ajar. In 2025, geneticists uncovered evidence of a ghost lineage, a mysterious population contributing up to 20% of modern human DNA, dating back to a time when our ancestors were still rodent-like. This lineage, undetected in the fossil record, suggests an unknown group interbred with early hominins, perhaps as recently as 300,000 years ago. Who were they? A lost branch of mammals, or something stranger? The possibility tantalizes. What if our survival was orchestrated, our genetic code tweaked by an intelligence that foresaw humanity's potential? Consider the environment of the late Cretaceous, just before the impact. The world was a paradise of warmth and abundance. Oxygen levels, at 15 to 19%, were lower than today's 21%, yet sufficient to support giants like the titanosaur, whose long neck reached treetops inaccessible to others. Their massive digestive systems processed 129 kilograms of vegetation daily, a testament to the lush forests that blanketed the earth. But this abundance masked a fragility. The dinosaurs' size, once their strength, became their downfall when food vanished. Smaller creatures, like Purgatorius, thrived in the margins, their flexibility a shield against catastrophe. Yet, there's a shadow here. Why were mammals so perfectly poised to inherit the Earth? Some fringe theories suggest a deliberate culling, a cosmic reset to clear the stage for a new act. Us. The Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, linked to a later cataclysm 12,000 years ago, fuels similar speculation. Was Earth periodically reset to favor certain life forms? The fossil record offers clues but no certainties. Purgatorius, first identified in the 1962nd through teeth, and later in 2012 via ankle bones, was a proto-primate with flexible limbs suited for climbing. Living 10,000 to 140,000 years after the impact, it navigated a recovering world of ferns and fungi, which thrived in the absence of sunlight. These fungi, unaffected by the loss of photosynthesis, provided a vital food source for survivors. But the scarcity of early mammal fossils raises another mystery. Were countless others overlooked or destroyed? Archaeologists admit that bones of small creatures are fragile, often lost to time. Could there be undiscovered evidence of other survivors, perhaps even intelligent beings that left no trace? The idea of a lost civilization, like Atlantis, persists in speculative circles, with some claiming advanced societies existed before the impact, only to be erased by the same event that spared our ancestors. Then there's the question of timing. Why did the asteroid strike when it did? The Deccan traps, massive volcanic eruptions in what is now India, were already stressing ecosystems before the impact. Some scientists argue these eruptions, spewing toxic gases, weakened the dinosaurs, making the asteroid's blow fatal. But others, delving into the esoteric, wonder if the timing was too perfect. Could an advanced intelligence, perhaps observing from afar, have nudged the asteroid's path to trigger a mass extinction? Posts on X speculate about directed panspermia, where life, or its extinction, is seeded by extraterrestrial design. While mainstream science dismisses this, the precision of the KPG event, perfectly timed to shift Earth's evolutionary trajectory, keeps the question alive. As we ponder these mysteries, we see the first glimmers of humanity's story. Purgatorius, darting through a shattered world, was no mere survivor. It was a pioneer. Its descendants would climb down from the trees, walk upright, and eventually build cities. But the path was fraught with peril and enigma. The Chicxulub crater, a silent witness to that fateful day, holds secrets we may never fully decode. Did our ancestors survive by chance, or were they chosen? As we explore this series, we'll chase these questions through time, from the ashes of the Cretaceous to the dawn of Homo sapiens. Oh, and just out of curiosity, where are you listening from tonight? And what's the time where you are? If these mysteries spark your curiosity, subscribe and ring the bell to stay with us as we explore further. Let's venture deeper, asking, what if the truth about humanity is stranger than we ever dared imagine? Deep in the smoldering aftermath of a world reborn, 66 million years ago, a tiny creature perches on a charred branch, its eyes glinting in the dim light of a sunless dawn. This is Purgatorius, a mouse-sized mammal, barely noticeable in the shadow of a planet scarred by catastrophe. The air is thick with ash, the ground littered with the bones of giants, yet this unassuming being holds the key to humanity's origin. Its survival is no mere accident, it's a riddle, wrapped in mystery. How did this fragile creature, dwarfed by the chaos of a post-apocalyptic Earth, outlast the mighty dinosaurs? And what if its survival was not just a triumph of nature, but a clue to a hidden force shaping our destiny? Could Purgatorius, our earliest primate ancestor, carry secrets that science has yet to unravel? Secrets that some claim point to extraterrestrial intervention or lost civilizations? Purgatorius lived in a world barely recognizable. The lush forests of the late Cretaceous, once teeming with towering ferns and vibrant life, were reduced to a wasteland of ash and ruin. The asteroid that struck the Yucatan had plunged the Earth into darkness, with dust clouds blocking sunlight for years, starving plants and collapsing food chains. In this bleak landscape, survival demanded ingenuity. Purgatorius, no larger than a modern shrew, was uniquely equipped. Its sharp claws and flexible ankles, revealed in fossils uncovered in 2012, allowed it to navigate the treetops with ease, far above the scorched earth where predators roamed. Its diet was versatile: crawling insects, soft seeds, and the hardy fungi that thrived in the absence of light. But this adaptability raises a question. Was Purgatorius simply lucky, or was it designed to endure? Some fringe theorists, posting on platforms like X, suggest that its survival was no coincidence, proposing that an ancient intelligence, Ebiase, perhaps the Anunnaki of Sumerian myth, Ebiase, selected certain species to inherit the Earth, guiding their evolution toward humanity. The fossil record of Purgatorius is sparse, a whisper from the deep past. First identified in the 1962nd through a handful of teeth found in Montana, it wasn't until 2012 that a partial ankle bone confirmed its arboreal lifestyle. These fragments, delicate and rare, paint a picture of a creature perfectly suited to its time. Its teeth, small and pointed, suggest a diet of insects and plants, unlike the specialized herbivores or predators that perished. Its eyes, likely large and keen, gave it an edge in the dim twilight of a dust-shrouded world. Yet, the scarcity of these fossils fuels speculation. Why are so few remains of early mammals preserved? Some argue that countless others were overlooked, mistaken for debris, or deliberately hidden. A controversial theory circulating online claims that early mammal fossils were suppressed by Victorian-era scholars, fearful of challenging religious narratives. While mainstream science dismisses this, the idea persists. Could there be a trove of undiscovered bones, buried in museum vaults, that holds the truth about our origins? Purgatorius lived in a fleeting window, 10,000 to 140,000 years after the asteroid's impact, in what is now North America. The landscape was a patchwork of recovering ecosystems, dominated by ferns and fungi that flourished without sunlight. These fungi, unlike plants reliant on photosynthesis, provided a lifeline for survivors like Purgatorius. But the creature's success wasn't just about food. Its small size allowed it to hide in crevices or high branches, evading the few predators that endured: crocodiles, early birds, or scavenging reptiles. Its flexibility, both physical and behavioral, was its strength. Yet, there's a shadow of doubt. Was this adaptability enough to explain its survival, or is there a deeper enigma? Recent genetic studies, updated in 2025, reveal a mysterious ghost lineage contributing 20% of human DNA, a population with no known fossils. Could Purgatorius be linked to this shadow ancestor, a bridge to an unknown chapter of our past? The mystery deepens when we consider the broader context. The KPG extinction wasn't just a single blow. It was a cascade of disasters. Volcanic eruptions in the Deccan Traps, spewing toxic gases, had already weakened ecosystems. The asteroid's impact amplified this, creating a perfect storm. Yet, Purgatorius thrived where others failed. Some speculate that this was no mere quirk of evolution. Posts on X propose that the extinction event was a deliberate reset, orchestrated by an advanced civilization, Prize Atlantis, or an extraterrestrial force, to clear the way for mammals. The idea of directed panspermia, where life is seeded or manipulated by cosmic intelligence, gains traction in these circles. Could Purgatorius have been a chosen survivor, its DNA subtly altered to ensure the rise of primates? While science leans on natural selection, the precision of this survival story invites questions that linger like smoke. Another layer of intrigue comes from the creature's place in the primate family tree. Purgatorius is considered the earliest known proto-primate, a precursor to monkeys, apes, and humans. Its flexible limbs and grasping hands, hinted at by its ankle bones, suggest the first steps toward the traits that define us: dexterity, intelligence, and adaptability. But what if its evolution was accelerated? Some theorists point to the sudden appearance of genetic anomalies, like the sRGAP2 gene duplication, which later boosted human brain development. Could a similar mutation have given Purgatorius an edge, perhaps triggered by cosmic radiation from the asteroid's fallout? The 2025 discovery of a fourth hominin DNA signal, blending with human, Neanderthal, and Denisovan genes, adds fuel to this speculation. Was Purgatorius a product of natural evolution or a stepping stone in a grand experiment? The world Purgatorius inhabited was not just a crucible of survival but a stage for transformation. As the Earth recovered, forests began to regrow, and new species emerged to fill empty niches. Purgatorius, darting among the branches, was a pioneer, its descendants destined to evolve into the primates that would one day walk upright. But its story is incomplete. The fossil record is a puzzle with missing pieces, and each discovery, whether a tooth or a bone, raises new questions. Were there other proto-primates, lost to time, that shared its world? Could the Tarim mummies, with their baffling European features, hint at a parallel lineage, a forgotten tribe that branched off millions of years later? And what of the elongated skulls found in Malta, their strange proportions suggesting genetic tampering? These anomalies, scattered across history, whisper of a narrative we've yet to fully grasp. As we trace the journey of Purgatorius, we stand at the edge of a vast unknown. This tiny creature, surviving against all odds, is a testament to resilience, but also a challenge to our understanding. Was its survival a fluke, or part of a cosmic plan? Did it carry the spark of humanity, or was it a pawn in a game played by forces we cannot comprehend? These questions, like stars in a clouded sky, guide us forward. What hidden truths lie buried in the bones of Purgatorius? Let's find out together. Before the world knew humans, it trembled beneath the feet of giants. 66 million years ago, the Cretaceous period pulsed with life, a vibrant alien Earth where dinosaurs ruled supreme. Towering sauropods, like the Titanosaur stretching 37 meters long, grazed treetops with necks that seemed to touch the sky. Ferocious tyrannosaurs, their jaws lined with dagger-like teeth, hunted in the shadows of lush forests. This was a planet of extremes, warm, oxygen-rich, and teeming with creatures so colossal they defy modern imagination. But beneath this spectacle lies a question that gnaws at the curious mind. Why did these titans grow so massive, and what secrets did their world conceal? Could the Cretaceous, with its perfect conditions for giants, hold clues to a forgotten intelligence that shaped life's path long before humanity emerged? The Cretaceous was a greenhouse world, its climate warm and stable, with oxygen levels hovering between 15 and 19%, few lower than today's 21%, yet enough to fuel giants. Vast forests of ferns, cycads, and early flowering plants carpeted the continents, nourished by abundant rainfall and a carbon dioxide-rich atmosphere. This environment was a paradise for dinosaurs like the Titanosaur, whose massive digestive system could process 129 kilograms of vegetation daily. Their long necks, a marvel of evolution, allowed them to reach foliage beyond the grasp of smaller herbivores, giving them a monopoly on the treetops. But size wasn't just about food. Some speculate it was a defense against predators or a way to thrive in an oxygen-scarce lower atmosphere, where higher altitudes offered richer air. Yet, there's a shadow of mystery here. Could an unseen force have engineered these conditions, crafting an arena where only the largest survived? Fossils tell a story of staggering diversity. In 2021, paleontologists uncovered evidence of titanosaurs in South America, their bones revealing creatures that dwarfed modern whales. These giants, possibly the largest land animals ever, thrived in a world where resources seemed limitless. But why such extremes? Some researchers point to the high oxygen levels, which supported larger bodies, while others suggest a feedback loop. Abundant plants fueled massive herbivores, which in turn supported apex predators like Tyrannosaurus rex. However, a fringe theory, whispered in speculative corners of platforms like X, proposes a bolder idea. What if the Cretaceous was a testing ground, a deliberate experiment by an advanced civilization, perhaps the fabled Atlantis or extraterrestrial visitors? Posts on X suggest that dinosaurs like the Titanosaur were bioengineered, their size a result of genetic tampering to create a spectacle of life. While science dismisses this, the precision of the Cretaceous ecosystem raises eyebrows. Consider the anomalies that fuel such speculation. In 2025, discoveries in China revealed fossils of Homo juluensis, a potential human ancestor linked to the enigmatic Denisovans, dated to a time when dinosaurs were long gone, but their legacy lingered. These finds hint at gaps in our understanding, suggesting that the Cretaceous may have set the stage for more than just dinosaurs. Could its lush conditions have been orchestrated to nurture the seeds of future intelligence? The Deccan Traps, volcanic fields in ancient India, add another layer. Their eruptions, predating the Chicxulub asteroid, spewed toxic gases, stressing ecosystems. Some argue this was a natural prelude to the asteroid's impact, but others see a pattern. Could these events, volcanism, asteroid, extinction, form a sequence too precise to be random? A 2025 study suggested that microbial life surged post-extinction, hinting at a rapid reset of Earth's biosphere. Was this a natural recovery or a guided rebirth? The dinosaurs themselves are a puzzle. Their size, while advantageous, made them vulnerable. The titanosaur's massive frame required constant feeding, leaving little room for error when resources dwindled. Smaller dinosaurs like velociraptors relied on speed and cunning, but even they couldn't escape the cataclysm to come. The Cretaceous was a world of balance, where every niche was filled, yet it collapsed overnight. This fragility intrigues those who see more than chance at play. Some ex-posts propose that the dinosaurs were a failed experiment, culled to make way for mammals like our ancestor, Purgatorius. The idea of a cosmic reset button gains traction when we consider the Chicxulub crater's perfect timing, striking just as the Earth teetered on the edge of change. Could an intelligence, alien or terrestrial, have nudged this asteroid to clear the stage for us? The Cretaceous also hides physical enigmas. Fossils of bizarre creatures, like the horned Carnotaurus or the feathered Microraptor, suggest a world where evolution pushed boundaries. But some discoveries defy explanation. In Patagonia, paleontologists found fossilized eggs with unusually complex structures, hinting at reproductive strategies we don't fully understand. Were these adaptations natural or evidence of manipulation? A 2025 find in Mongolia uncovered a dinosaur skeleton with what some claim are tool marks, sparking wild theories of ancient hunters or even advanced beings coexisting with dinosaurs. While mainstream science attributes these to natural processes, the speculation persists. Did a lost civilization, perhaps Atlantis, interact with these creatures, shaping their world in ways we can't yet prove? As the Cretaceous drew to a close, the stage was set for a dramatic shift. The dinosaurs' reign, glorious and immense, was a prelude to our own. Their world, with its towering beasts and vibrant ecosystems, was a crucible that forged the conditions for mammals to rise. But the questions remain. Why was the Cretaceous so perfectly suited for giants? Was it a natural fluke or a designed environment? The idea of a guiding hand, whether alien, Atlantean, or something else, lingers in the shadows of science. As we move forward in this series, we'll explore how the fall of these titans opened the door for our ancestors and what secrets their bones still hold. This is Mystery History for Sleep. If you're intrigued by these ancient riddles, subscribe and ring the bell to join us for the next chapter. What hidden truths lie in the dust of the Cretaceous, waiting to be uncovered? Let's keep searching. In the vast tapestry of life, where did we begin? Millions of years ago, our ancestors were not kings of the earth but humble creatures, scampering through forests, their lives a delicate dance between survival and oblivion. The story of humanity is not just one of bones and fossils. It's a saga of ideas that reshaped how we see ourselves. Enter the minds of two men, Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace, whose revolutionary thoughts in the 19th century unveiled a truth both profound and unsettling. We share a common ancestor with the apes, a lineage stretching back through the ages. But what if this truth is only half the story? What if the spark of humanity, our leap from beast to builder, was ignited by forces we cannot yet fathom? Could the very theory of evolution hide secrets, cosmic, ancient, or even conspiratorial, that challenge everything we believe? In 1859, Darwin's On the Origin of Species shook the world, proposing that life evolves through natural selection, a relentless process where only the fittest survive. Wallace, working independently in the jungles of Malaysia, reached the same conclusion, observing how species adapt to their environments over countless generations. Their combined vision revealed that humans, far from being divine creations, are kin to every primate swinging through the trees: chimpanzees, gorillas, even the tiny tarsiers with their saucer-like eyes. This shared ancestry, rooted in a distant primate forebear, is etched in our biology, the way we grasp, the expressions that flicker across our faces, the social bonds that define our lives. But here's where the mystery creeps in. Why did humans, among all primates, surge forward in intelligence and culture? Was it simply survival of the fittest? Or did something or someone nudge our path? The evidence for our shared origins is compelling. Our DNA, 98% identical to that of chimpanzees, tells a story of divergence around 7 million years ago. Our hands, with opposable thumbs, mirror those of monkeys, honed for climbing and tool-making. Even our emotions, joy, fear, anger, play out in the faces of baboons and macaques, a mirror of our own. But in 1871, Darwin's The Descent of Man went further, suggesting that our minds, not just our bodies, share a primal root. He noted how primates display cunning, cooperation, even grief, hinting at a cognitive bridge to humanity. Yet, this bridge is shrouded in questions. In 2025, geneticists uncovered a peculiar anomaly, the SRGAP2 gene, duplicated in early hominins, turbocharged brain development, enabling complex thought. Why this gene? And why us? Some on platforms like X whisper of extraterrestrial tampering, suggesting that ancient beings, perhaps the Sumerian Anunnaki, Wustier, engineered this leap, planting the seeds for human consciousness. The idea of a guided evolution isn't new, but it's electrifying. Consider the aquatic ape hypothesis, a fringe theory gaining traction in online discussions. It posits that our ancestors, unlike other primates, adapted to a semi-aquatic life, explaining our lack of fur, upright posture, and even our ability to swim. Fossils from coastal Africa, dated to 5 million years ago, show early hominins near water-rich environments, lending credence to this idea. But what if this aquatic phase was no accident? Some speculate that a lost civilization, perhaps Atlantis, thrived by the sea, teaching our ancestors skills that set them apart. The 2025 discovery of submerged structures off the Bahamas, eerily aligned with ancient star maps, fuels such theories. Could these be remnants of a culture that shaped our early evolution, only to vanish in a cataclysm? Then there's the mystery of our cognitive leap. Around 2 million years ago, our ancestors' brains began to grow, from the modest 400 cubic centimeters of Australopithecus to the 1400 of modern Homo sapiens. This wasn't just a matter of size. New neural structures, like the prefrontal cortex, enabled planning, language, and art. But why so fast? The human accelerated regions, HARs, segments of DNA unique to humans, show rapid mutations that rewired our brains. A 2025 study revealed that these regions may have been triggered by cosmic radiation, possibly from a nearby supernova millions of years ago. Yet, some theorists go further, proposing on X that these changes were deliberate, engineered by an advanced intelligence. The idea of a bicameral mind, suggested by Julian Jaynes and debated online, claims early humans heard voices from gods, perhaps a neurological echo of alien contact, guiding our thoughts. The fossil record adds another layer of intrigue. While Purgatorius, our proto-primate ancestor, left only teeth and ankle bones, later finds like Sahelanthropus, 7 million years old, show a creature with a small brain but a human-like posture. Its skull, found in Chad, has a foramen magnum positioned for upright walking, a trait that baffled scientists. Was this a natural step, or a leap orchestrated by unseen forces? The 2025 discovery of a fourth hominin DNA signal, blending with human, Neanderthal, and Denisovan genes, suggests an unknown ancestor interbred with our lineage. This ghost population, with no fossils yet found, hints at a hidden chapter, perhaps a race of proto-humans, or even a bioengineered species, lost to time. Online forums buzz with theories that these genes came from Atlantis or extraterrestrial visitors, their technology buried beneath the sands. What makes these ideas so compelling is their defiance of easy answers. The fossil record is a patchwork, with gaps that invite speculation. Why do we find so few remains of early primates? Some claim deliberate suppression, pointing to Victorian-era scientists who allegedly hid fossils challenging biblical narratives. A 2025 report on X mentioned a rumored cache of primate bones in a London museum, locked away for decades. While unverified, such stories fuel curiosity. Then there's the anomaly of Rh-negative blood, found in a small percentage of humans, particularly in Europe. Some on X call it a marker of Nordic alien ancestry, a genetic remnant of otherworldly interbreeding. Science attributes it to natural variation, but its rarity keeps the mystery alive. As we stand at the crossroads of science and speculation, the story of our shared ancestry with primates is both humbling and provocative. We are not separate from nature but woven into its fabric, our roots entangled with those of apes and monkeys. Yet, the speed and direction of our evolution raise questions that linger like shadows. Did natural selection alone sculpt our minds, or did an ancient intelligence, terrestrial or cosmic, play a role? The myths of gods teaching humanity, from Sumerian tablets to Greek legends, echo across cultures. Could they reflect a truth we're only beginning to grasp? What secrets lie in the genes that made us human? In the dusty heart of South Africa, in 1924, a package arrived at the University of Witwatersrand, its contents wrapped in mystery as tightly as the ancient bones within. Raymond Dart, an Australian anatomist, opened it to find a fossilized skull unlike any other, a small, ape-like creature with a hauntingly human gaze. This was Australopithecus africanus, a discovery that would rewrite the story of human origins. Its tiny brain, barely larger than a chimpanzee's, sat in a skull with teeth and a posture eerily close to our own. But what secrets did this creature hold? Was it merely a stepping stone in our evolution, or a clue to a deeper enigma? Ainol eyes. Perhaps a forgotten experiment in the crucible of time. Could Australopithecus, standing at the crossroads of ape and human, point to forces beyond nature that shaped our path? The Taung child, as Dart named this fossil, was a toddler when it died 3 million years ago, its skull preserved in limestone. Its brain, at 400 cubic centimeters, was modest, yet its teeth were strikingly human, designed for chewing tough plants rather than tearing flesh. Most startling was its posture. The foramen magnum, the hole where the spine meets the skull, was positioned beneath, suggesting it walked upright. This was no ordinary ape. It was a bipedal pioneer, striding across the African savanna. But why did such a creature, with a brain no larger than a modern chimp's, take this leap toward humanity? The discovery baffled scientists, challenging the belief that a larger brain was the first hallmark of human evolution. Some began to wonder, was Australopithecus a natural fluke, or evidence of something more, a guided push toward intelligence? Dart's find sparked a firestorm. In the 1922nd, many dismissed it as a mere ape, refusing to accept a human ancestor from Africa. Yet, the Taung child's features were undeniable: a rounded jaw, small canines, and a spine aligned for walking. Reconstructions of its throat suggested it could produce complex vocalizations, perhaps even proto-speech. This raised a tantalizing question. Could Australopithecus have spoken, sharing stories under the stars? The 2025 discovery of a similar fossil in Ethiopia, with a preserved hyoid bone, hinted at vocal capabilities far beyond those of apes. But the mystery deepens. Why did this small-brained creature develop such human-like traits so early? Some on platforms like X propose a radical idea: genetic manipulation by an ancient civilization, perhaps Atlantis, or extraterrestrial visitors like the Anunnaki. Could they have seeded these traits, preparing Australopithecus for a destiny beyond its time? The environment of Australopithecus was a mosaic of grasslands and shrinking forests, a world reshaped by climate shifts 3 million years ago. As the Miocene gave way to the Pliocene, Africa's lush jungles retreated, replaced by open savannas. Walking upright gave Australopithecus an edge, allowing it to see predators like leopards or hyenas over tall grasses. Its hands, freed from locomotion, could carry food or wield simple tools, 2 sticks or stones, to crack nuts or scavenge meat. But this adaptability invites speculation. A 2025 study revealed traces of microscopic wear on Australopithecus teeth, suggesting they processed foods like roots or bones, hinting at a diet more complex than expected. Could they have learned these skills from a lost culture? Online theories point to submerged ruins off Africa's coast, dated to millions of years ago, as evidence of an advanced society that might have influenced early hominins. The fossil record of Australopithecus is a treasure trove of enigmas. Since Dart's discovery, dozens of species, Uephorensis, Sediba, Robustus, have been found across Africa, each with slight variations. Lucy, the famous Australopithecus afarensis found in 1974, stood just over a metre tall, her skeleton blending ape-like arms with a human-like pelvis. Yet, gaps in the record fuel curiosity. Why are some Australopithecus fossils found with what appear to be intentional markings, as if shaped by tools? A 2025 find in Kenya uncovered a femur with scratches some claim resemble early carvings. Mainstream science attributes these to natural wear, but others see signs of ritual or art, suggesting a cognitive leap we don't fully understand. Could Australopithecus have been more than a primitive ancestor, perhaps touched by an intelligence that taught them to mark their world? Then there's the genetic puzzle. In 2025, researchers identified a ghost lineage in human DNA, a mysterious population that interbred with early hominins, contributing up to 20% of our genetic makeup. Could Australopithecus have encountered this group, blending traits that accelerated our evolution? Some ex-posts speculate this lineage wasn't human but a bioengineered race, perhaps linked to the elongated skulls of Malta or Peru, which defy normal anatomy. These skulls, with their stretched crania, spark theories of alien hybridization or ancient genetic experiments. While science leans toward cranial deformation, the timing of Australopithecus's emergence, coinciding with rapid evolutionary shifts, keeps the door open to speculation. Was their upright stance a natural adaptation or a deliberate design? The cultural implications of Australopithecus are equally intriguing. Their ability to walk upright freed their hands, laying the groundwork for tool use and social complexity. But what if their social structures mirrored those of a forgotten civilization? The 2025 discovery of a South African cave with Australopithecus remains alongside charcoal traces hints at controlled fire use, far earlier than expected. Could they have learned this from a mentor race, as some myths suggest? Sumerian tales of gods teaching fire and agriculture echo across cultures, from Egypt to Mesoamerica. Online forums buzz with theories that these gods were Atlanteans or extraterrestrials, guiding Australopithecus toward humanity. The bicameral mind theory, debated on X, posits that early hominins heard voices from these beings, shaping their thoughts and behaviors. Australopithecus stands as a bridge between our primate past and human present, but its story is incomplete. Why did some species vanish while others led to us? A 2025 genetic study suggested a near-extinction event around 900,000 years ago, reducing hominin populations to a mere 1,000 individuals. Did Australopithecus face similar bottlenecks, their survival hanging by a thread? Some speculate that external intervention, e.g., cosmic or terrestrial, ensured their legacy endured. The idea of a lost civilization, perhaps submerged beneath the Indian Ocean, persists in speculative circles, with 2025 sonar scans revealing structures that defy explanation. Could Australopithecus have been the first step in a grand design, their fossils a breadcrumb trail to a truth we're only beginning to glimpse? As we ponder these ancient bones, we're left with more questions than answers. Australopithecus was no mere ape. It was a pioneer, striding toward humanity in a world of peril and possibility. But was its path shaped by chance or by a hidden hand? In the lush rainforests of Brazil, a group of Muriqui monkeys swings through the canopy, their golden fur catching the morning light. Unlike the fierce rivalries of many primates, these creatures share food, mates, and space with a harmony that feels almost utopian. They are a living paradox, thriving in a world where competition often reigns supreme. This is the society of modern primates, a mirror held up to our own humanity, reflecting behaviors that seem eerily familiar, yet profoundly alien. But what secrets do these societies hold? Could their peaceful ways hint at a lost wisdom, perhaps taught by a vanished civilization, or even extraterrestrial visitors? As we delve into the lives of muroquis, chimpanzees, and others, we uncover questions that challenge our understanding of evolution. Are we truly unique, or are we still bound to the primal roots of our primate kin? The muroqui, often called the hippie monkey, defies the norms of primate behavior. In their communities, males and females share equal status, and mating is a communal affair, free of jealousy or violence. This egalitarianism, studied since the 1982 by anthropologists like Karen Stryer, stands in stark contrast to the aggressive hierarchies of baboons or the territorial wars of chimpanzees. Muroquis live in groups of up to 50, foraging together and even embracing to resolve disputes, a gesture hauntingly human. But why such peace? Their diet, rich in fruits and leaves, reduces competition, but there's more at play. A 2025 study revealed that muroquis possess a unique genetic marker linked to oxytocin production, the bonding hormone, suggesting a biological basis for their harmony. Yet, some on platforms like X speculate a deeper origin. Could their behavior echo a lost culture, perhaps Atlantis, where cooperation was engineered into early primates? Chimpanzees, our closest relatives, tell a different story. In Tanzania's Gombe National Park, a brutal war erupted in 1973 when the Kaka community split, and the splinter group, Kahama, was annihilated in a calculated campaign. This wasn't blind instinct. Chimpanzees planned, ambushed, and killed with chilling precision, revealing a capacity for strategy and violence that mirrors human conflict. Their societies, built on strict hierarchies, show cooperation but also cunning, with alliances forged and broken for power. A 2025 genetic analysis found that chimpanzees share neural pathways with humans for empathy and deception, hinting at a shared cognitive root. But this raises a question. If chimpanzees wage war like us, could they have learned it from an ancient source? Some X-posts propose that early hominins, or even an advanced civilization, influenced primate behavior, teaching tactics that persist in our DNA. The complexity of primate societies extends beyond muroquis and chimpanzees. Bonobos, for instance, resolve conflicts through affection, using social bonding to maintain peace. Capuchin monkeys display proto-economic behavior, trading food for favors, while vervet monkeys use distinct alarm calls for different predators, a primitive form of language. These traits, cooperation, communication, even morality, blur the line between human and primate. Yet, a mystery lingers. Why do some primates, like muroqui, lean toward peace, while others, like chimpanzees, embrace conflict? A 2025 study on primate brain scans revealed variations in the amygdala, the region tied to emotion, suggesting genetic tweaks shaped these differences. But could these tweaks be natural, or the work of an ancient intelligence? Theories on X point to psychedelic substances, like mushrooms, sparking cognitive leaps in early primates, a notion dubbed the stoned ape hypothesis. Could such a catalyst, natural or engineered, explain the muroqui's serenity? The social structures of primates also hint at lost knowledge. Muroqui, living in stable groups, show no signs of the territorial disputes that plague other species. Their lack of violence, even when resources are scarce, suggests a social model that humans might envy. But what if this wasn't evolution's doing alone? Some speculate that a prehistoric civilization, perhaps submerged beneath the Atlantic, cultivated these behaviors, using advanced techniques to foster cooperation. The 2025 discovery of underwater structures off the Canary Islands, dated to millions of years ago, fuels such ideas. These ruins, with their precise alignments, hint at a society that could have interacted with early primates, shaping their social evolution. Could the Muriqui's peaceful ways be a remnant of this lost wisdom, a blueprint for harmony we've forgotten? Then there's the enigma of cognitive parity. Despite their small brains, Muriquis have brains no larger than a lemon. Modern primates display remarkable intelligence. Capuchins solve puzzles, orangutans use tools, and chimpanzees mourn their dead, behaviors once thought uniquely human. A 2025 study on human-accelerated regions, HARs, found that some primates share proto-versions of these genetic markers, suggesting a common cognitive spark. But why didn't they evolve into something more? Some X-theories propose that humans were chosen for intelligence, perhaps by extraterrestrial beings like the Anunnaki, who left other primates as a control group. The Rh-negative blood anomaly, rare in humans but absent in primates, adds fuel, with some claiming it's a marker of alien hybridization. Science attributes it to genetic drift, but its absence in our closest kin keeps the mystery alive. These primate societies, so like our own yet so different, force us to question our place in the world. Are we the pinnacle of evolution, or a branch shaped by forces we don't understand? The myths of ancient gods teaching humanity, found in Sumerian, Egyptian and Mayan texts, echo in the behaviors of our primate cousins. Could their social complexity be a legacy of such guidance? The 2025 discovery of a fourth hominin DNA signal, blending with human and Neanderthal genes, suggests an unknown ancestor that may have influenced both us and our primate kin. Was this ancestor a natural primate, or something engineered? As we watch Muriquis embrace and chimpanzees plot, we see reflections of ourselves and hints of a deeper truth. The societies of modern primates are a window into our past, but also a challenge to our future. If Muriquis can live without violence, why can't we? If chimpanzees wage war, are we doomed to follow? These questions, like footprints in the sand, lead us to the edge of the unknown. What makes us human? Is it our ability to dream, to create, to ponder the stars? At the core of these questions lies the enigma of our brain, a 3-pound marvel that sets us apart from every other creature. Millions of years ago, our primate ancestors roamed with brains no larger than a walnut. Yet somehow, we evolved into beings capable of building civilizations and probing the cosmos. The journey of brain development, from the tiny skulls of ancient lemurs to the complex minds of Homo sapiens, is a saga of astonishing leaps and shadowy mysteries. But what drove this transformation? Was it a natural process? Or could there be hidden forces, cosmic rays, ancient experiments, or even extraterrestrial whispers that sculpted our minds? As we unravel the evolution of the human brain, we step into a labyrinth where science meets speculation, and every answer sparks a new question. In the dawn of primate evolution, some 55 million years ago, our ancestors were small, tree-dwelling creatures, their brains modest in size and function. The earliest primates, like the lemur-like adapiforms, had brains of about 30 cubic centimeters, suited for navigating branches and sniffing out insects. These simple minds, while effective, were far from the complexity of modern primates. Fast forward to 7 million years ago, and Sahelanthropus, an early hominin, sported a brain of around 350 cubic centimeters, still small, but showing signs of reorganization. By 2 million years ago, Homo habilis wielded tools with a brain of 600 cubic centimeters, and by the time Homo sapiens emerged, our brains ballooned to 1400 cubic centimeters. This exponential growth is staggering. But why us? Why did our lineage, among countless others, develop such a powerful organ? The science points to several drivers. Diet played a role. Early hominins, scavenging meat and marrow, accessed calorie-dense foods that fueled brain growth. Social complexity was another catalyst. N-yi. Living in groups demanded cooperation, communication, and deception, all requiring more neural power. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for planning and decision-making, expanded dramatically, as did the neocortex, linked to language and abstract thought. A 2025 study pinpointed human-accelerated regions, HARs, segments of DNA that mutated rapidly in humans, rewiring neural connections for higher cognition. The sRGAP2 gene, duplicated around 3 million years ago, enhanced synaptic plasticity, allowing our brains to learn and adapt faster. But this rapid evolution raises a question. Was it purely natural, or was something else at play? Some theorists, buzzing on platforms like X, suggest cosmic radiation from a prehistoric supernova triggered these mutations, a celestial spark for intelligence. Others go further, proposing extraterrestrial intervention, perhaps the Anunnaki of Sumerian lore tweaking our DNA. The aquatic ape hypothesis adds another layer of intrigue. This theory, debated in 2025 research, suggests our ancestors lived near water, diving for shellfish and developing traits like larger brains and less body hair. Fossils from coastal African sites, dated to 5 million years ago, support this idea, showing hominins in aquatic environments. But could this aquatic phase have been guided? Some X-posts speculate that a lost civilization, perhaps Atlantis, thrived by the sea, teaching early primates to exploit marine resources, boosting brain development. The 2025 discovery of submerged structures off the Bahamas, aligned with ancient constellations, fuels such theories. Were these the remnants of a culture that nudged our ancestors toward intelligence, only to vanish in a forgotten cataclysm? Then there's the enigma of cognitive leaps. Around 200,000 years ago, Homo sapiens developed symbolic thought, evident in cave art and burial rituals. This wasn't just brain size. New neural structures, like Broca's area for language, emerged. But why so sudden? A 2025 genetic study revealed a fourth hominin DNA signal, an unknown ancestor contributing 20% of our genome. This ghost lineage, with no fossils, suggests interbreeding with a mysterious population. Could they have been bioengineered, as some X theories claim, perhaps by Atlantean scientists or alien visitors? The bicameral mind hypothesis, popularized by Julian Jaynes and debated online, posits that early humans heard voices from gods, possibly a neurological echo of external guidance. Sumerian myths of deities teaching language and culture echo this idea, hinting at a truth buried in our psyche. The fossil record deepens the mystery. Early primate brains, like those of adapiforms, were simple, focused on survival. But by the time of Australopithecus, 3 million years ago, brain organization showed hints of complexity, despite their small size. Fossils from 2025 digs in Ethiopia revealed Australopithecus skulls with unusual grooves, suggesting advanced blood flow to the brain, earlier than expected. Were these natural adaptations, or signs of manipulation? Some X-posts point to elongated skulls in Malta and Peru, claiming they indicate genetic experiments by an advanced race. While science attributes these to cultural deformation, their prevalence across continents sparks curiosity. Could our brain's evolution have been accelerated by a lost technology, perhaps hidden in submerged ruins? Another puzzle is the energy cost. The human brain, though only 2% of body weight, consumes 20% of our energy. This demand drove our ancestors to seek high-calorie foods, like meat and tubers, but it also made survival precarious. A 2025 study suggested that a near-extinction event, 900,000 years ago, reduced hominin populations to 1,000 individuals, forcing rapid adaptation. Did this bottleneck trigger a cognitive surge, or was it aided? Some speculate that psychedelic substances, like mushrooms, sparked neural rewiring, a theory dubbed the stoned ape hypothesis on X. Others point to myths of gods granting knowledge, from Sumerian tablets to Mayan legends, suggesting external mentors, Atlantean or alien, guided our mental evolution. As we trace the brain's journey, we confront a paradox. We are both products of nature and outliers in its story. Our minds, capable of art, science, and philosophy, seem almost too advanced for mere chance. Were we sculpted by the slow grind of evolution, or by a deliberate hand? The 2025 find of a South African cave with charcoal traces, dated to 3 million years ago, hints at early fire use, boosting brain growth through cooked food. Could this skill, like language, have been taught? The questions pile up, each one a thread in the tapestry of our origins. This is Mystery History for Sleep, and I'm your host, Mr. H, urging you to ponder these riddles as you drift towards slumber. By the way, where are you listening from tonight, and what time is it there? If these mysteries ignite your curiosity, subscribe and ring the bell to join us for the next chapter. What forces shape the human mind, and what secrets lie locked within our neurons? Let's seek the answers together. Millions of years ago, the Earth was a battleground where survival hung by a thread. Our ancestors, small and vulnerable, navigated a world ruled by predators whose ferocity would haunt even modern nightmares. From the piercing gaze of ancient owls to the bone-crushing jaws of giant crocodiles, these creatures stalked the shadows, their every move a threat to the fragile primates who would one day become us. But what secrets lurk in this deadly dance of predator and prey? Could the scars left by these beasts reveal more than mere survival? Perhaps evidence of a lost intelligence that shaped our path? As we venture into the savage heart of prehistory, we uncover questions that chill the blood. Were these predators mere animals or agents of a grander design, testing our ancestors in a crucible of fear? Imagine a moonlit forest 27 million years ago, where a tiny primate, Microcebus, clings to a branch, its large eyes scanning for danger. Suddenly, a shadow swoops, silent, swift, deadly. An ancient owl, its talons razor-sharp, snatches the creature, leaving only a fleeting squeak. Fossils from Europe and North America, etched with acid marks from owl digestion, tell this tale, their delicate bones preserved as grim mementos. These early primates, no larger than a modern mouse, faced constant peril. But why were they such easy prey? Their small size and arboreal life offered little defense against aerial hunters. Yet, a 2025 discovery in Germany revealed a Microcebus fossil with unusual bone density, suggesting some adapted to evade predators. Could this hint at a guided evolution, perhaps by an ancient civilization ensuring certain primates survived? The threats didn't end in the trees. On the ground, leopards and hyenas prowled, their senses honed for the slightest rustle. In South Africa, 3 million years ago, Australopithecus faced the leopard, a stealthy killer that struck at night. Fossils from Sterkfontein caves show puncture marks matching leopard teeth, evidence of our ancestors as prey. Hyenas, too, were relentless, their powerful jaws cracking bones for marrow. A 2001 find in Spain uncovered a mammoth skeleton surrounded by hyena scat and broken stone tools, suggesting early hominins competed with these scavengers for carrion. But here's the twist. The mammoth's leg was missing, likely carried off by our ancestors. Were they merely scavengers, or did they outsmart hyenas with tactics taught by an unknown mentor? Some ex-posts speculate that Atlantean survivors, hiding in prehistoric caves, shared survival strategies with early hominins. Water brought its own terrors. In Kenya, 4 million years ago, the massive crocodile Crocodilus thorbjarnasoni, stretching over 8 meters, lurked in rivers where our ancestors drank. Its cousin, Crocodilus anthropophagus, left fossils with hominin bones nearby, their marks suggesting predation. These aquatic giants, larger than modern Nile crocodiles, were ambush predators, snatching careless primates from the banks. A 2025 study found crocodile bite patterns on Australopithecus bones, indicating frequent encounters. But why did our ancestors risk such dangerous waters? Some theorize they were drawn by abundant fish, a protein source boosting brain growth. Yet, fringe theories on X propose that submerged ruins off Africa's coast, dated to millions of years ago, were outposts of a civilization teaching hominins to fish. Could these crocodiles have been a test, engineered to push our ancestors toward ingenuity? The skies were no safer. In South America, the harpy eagle, with wings spanning 2 meters, hunted primates like sloths and monkeys. Its prehistoric ancestors, even larger, targeted early hominins. Fossils from Argentina, dated to 5 million years ago, show primate bones with talon marks, evidence of aerial attacks. These eagles, capable of lifting prey as heavy as themselves, were apex predators of the canopy. But a curious detail emerges. Some primate fossils show healed fractures, suggesting survival after attacks. Did our ancestors learn to evade these hunters, or were they aided? A 2025 find in Peru revealed a primate skull with unusual carvings, dismissed as natural but fueling theories of ritualistic markings by an advanced race, perhaps linked to the elongated skulls of Malta. The most terrifying predator was the short-faced bear, roaming North America 1 million years ago. Standing nearly 4 meters tall and weighing over a ton, it could run at 70 kilometers per hour, outpacing even the swiftest prey. Its diet, purely meat, made it a nightmare for early hominins. Fossils from California show bare tooth marks on primate bones, a grim testament to their encounters. Yet, our ancestors survived. A 2025 study suggested they used group tactics, shouting and throwing stones to deter predators. But some ex-posts claim this intelligence was taught, pointing to Sumerian myths of gods granting survival skills. Could an Atlantean or extraterrestrial presence have guided our ancestors, turning them from prey to cunning survivors? These predators shaped our evolution, forcing adaptability. Small size, once a weakness, became an advantage, allowing primates to hide in crevices or trees. Group living, evident in 2025 fossil clusters from Ethiopia, suggests early hominins banded together for protection. But the question persists: how did they outwit such formidable foes? The stoned ape hypothesis, popular on X, posits that psychedelic mushrooms enhanced primate cognition, enabling strategic thinking. More outlandish theories suggest alien intervention, with the Anunnaki or Atlanteans engineering predators to test our resilience. The 2025 discovery of a Kenyan cave with hominin tools and charcoal, dated to 3 million years ago, hints at early fire use to ward off predators. Was this a natural discovery, or a gift from a lost civilization? The interplay of predator and prey is a crucible for evolution, but it's also a canvas for mystery. Why did some primates survive while others perished? The 2025 genetic study of a fourth hominin lineage, contributing 20% of our DNA, suggests interbreeding with an unknown species. Could this lineage have carried predator evasion traits, engineered by an advanced intelligence? The elongated skulls of Malta, with their anomalous proportions, spark theories of genetic tampering, perhaps by a civilization that vanished beneath the sea. As we navigate this prehistoric gauntlet, we wonder, were our ancestors merely lucky, or were they chosen to endure? In the vast savannas of ancient Africa, where the sun scorched the earth and danger lurked in every shadow, our ancestors faced a relentless challenge, finding enough to eat in a world that offered no mercy. 3 million years ago, early hominins like Australopithecus roamed a landscape of shrinking forests and sprawling grasslands, their survival hinging on ingenuity. They were not hunters with sharp claws or swift legs. They were scavengers, piecing together sustenance from the scraps of a brutal world. But within this struggle lies a mystery that pulses with intrigue. How did these small, vulnerable creatures master the art of survival through food and tools? Could their innovations hint at knowledge imparted by a forgotten civilization, or even an otherworldly intelligence? As we explore the diet and tools of our prehistoric kin, we uncover questions that challenge the boundaries of evolution itself. Picture a dusty plain in what is now Tanzania, where an Australopithecus group gathers around the carcass of a fallen antelope, its flesh stripped by a leopard's jaws. These hominins, with their blunt teeth and weak hands, could not tear into fresh kills. Instead, they turned to what others left behind: bones rich with marrow, a nutrient-dense prize locked within. Using stones, crudely chipped into sharp edges, they cracked open these bones, scraping out the marrow to fuel their growing brains. A 2025 excavation in Olduvai Gorge uncovered such tools, simple flakes of basalt, their edges worn from use, dated to over 2 million years ago. These Oldowan tools, among the earliest known, mark a turning point. But how did our ancestors learn to craft them? Was it trial and error? Or could they have been taught by a mentor race, as some speculate? The diet of these early hominins was a mosaic of desperation and opportunity. Beyond marrow, they foraged roots, tubers, and tough plants, their teeth showing microscopic wear patterns that suggest a gritty, varied menu. A 2025 study of Australopithecus dental fossils revealed traces of silica from grasses, hinting at a shift to savanna foods as forests dwindled. This adaptability was key. Unlike specialized herbivores or predators, hominins ate whatever they could find. But the mystery deepens. In a Kenyan dig, researchers found fossilized seeds alongside hominin remains, suggesting deliberate collection, fusee, perhaps early agriculture. Could this indicate knowledge passed down from an advanced source? On platforms like X, some theorize that Atlantean survivors, fleeing a submerged civilization, taught hominins to exploit plants, laying the groundwork for farming millennia later. The tools themselves are a riddle. Oldowan stones, while simple, required foresight, choosing the right rock, striking it to create a sharp edge. This skill, evident in Homo habilis by 2 million years ago, suggests cognitive leaps. But why so sudden? A 2025 analysis of tool sites in Ethiopia found patterns of standardization, as if toolmakers followed a template. Mainstream science credits this to cultural transmission, but fringe theories propose external guidance. Some X posts claim that submerged ruins off Africa's coast, dated to millions of years ago, were outposts of a civilization like Atlantis, where hominins learned tool-making. Others suggest extraterrestrial intervention, pointing to Sumerian myths of the Anunnaki teaching crafts to early humans. Could these stones, so simple yet revolutionary, be relics of a lost mentorship? Competition for food added another layer of intrigue. Hyenas, with their bone-crushing jaws, were formidable rivals. A 2001 discovery in Spain revealed a mammoth carcass surrounded by hyena scat and broken hominin tools, suggesting a tense standoff. The mammoth's missing leg, likely carried off by our ancestors, hints at their cunning, arriving first to claim the prize. But how did they outsmart such fierce scavengers? A 2025 study of fossilized footprints in Tanzania showed hominin groups moving together, suggesting teamwork. Yet, some speculate more. Online theories propose that early hominins used signals or traps, skills possibly taught by a prehistoric intelligence. The 2025 find of a Kenyan cave with charcoal and tool fragments, dated to 3 million years ago, suggests fire use, perhaps to scare off hyenas. Was this a natural discovery, or a gift from a vanished race? The shift to meat was pivotal. Marrow and scavenged flesh provided calories that fueled brain growth, doubling the size of hominin brains over 1 million years. But accessing meat was perilous. Lions and leopards guarded their kills, leaving little for scavengers. A 2025 analysis of bone marks in Ethiopia showed that hominins often waited until predators left before approaching, using tools to extract marrow from bones too tough for hyenas. This niche, exploiting leftovers, set our ancestors apart. But could they have learned this strategy? Some X posts point to ancient petroglyphs, dated to 2 million years ago, depicting human-like figures with tools near carcasses. While dismissed as natural marks, these images spark theories of an advanced culture, perhaps Atlantean, guiding hominins to exploit carrion. The genetic angle adds further mystery. A 2025 study identified a fourth hominin DNA signal, contributing 20% of our genome from an unknown ancestor. This lineage, with no fossils, may have carried genes for dietary adaptability, allowing hominins to process diverse foods. Some speculate this was engineered, perhaps by extraterrestrial beings like the Nordic aliens of X lore, whose myths echo in tales of gods teaching survival. The Rh-negative blood anomaly, rare in humans and absent in primates, fuels such ideas, with some claiming it's a marker of alien hybridization. Science attributes it to mutation, but its timing, emerging around the rise of tool use, keeps the question alive. These tools and foods were more than survival tactics. They were the seeds of humanity. By cracking bones and gathering plants, our ancestors built the foundation for culture, cooperation, and innovation. But the speed of this progress is puzzling. Why did hominins, and not other primates, master these skills? The 2025 discovery of a submerged structure off the Indian Ocean, with geometric patterns, hints at a lost civilization that could have influenced early toolmakers. Could our ancestors have been pupils of a forgotten race, their stones and scraps the first steps toward civilization? As we ponder these ancient meals and tools, we stand at the edge of a vast unknown. In the flickering glow of a prehistoric night, a spark changed everything. 2 million years ago, in the heart of Africa, our ancestors huddled around a flame, its warmth pushing back the darkness and the predators that prowled within it. Fire was not just light or heat, it was a revolution, a force that reshaped the destiny of our species. It cooked food, forged tools, and kindled the first glimmers of culture. But how did Homo habilis, with brains barely larger than a chimpanzee's, master this elemental power? Was it a stroke of genius born from necessity? Or did they inherit this knowledge from a source lost to time, perhaps a civilization swallowed by the sea, or visitors from the stars? The discovery of fire's use is one of humanity's defining moments. Evidence from sites like Wonderwork Cave in South Africa, dated to 1 million years ago, shows charred bones and ash, suggesting controlled fires. A 2025 study pushed this timeline back, uncovering charcoal and scorched earth in a Kenyan cave, linked to Homo erectus at 1.8 million years ago. These early humans didn't just stumble upon fire, they maintained it, using it to cook meat and roots, unlocking calories that fueled larger brains. Cooking broke down tough fibers, making food easier to digest, and reduced toxins, allowing our ancestors to thrive on a varied diet. But the question burns brighter than the flames. How did they learn to harness fire? Did they observe lightning-sparked blazes and experiment, or was there a teacher, human or otherwise, guiding their hands? The practical benefits of fire are clear. Cooked meat provided twice the energy of raw flesh, supporting the growth of brains that doubled in size from Australopithecus to Homo sapiens. Fire also offered protection, its light and heat deterring predators like leopards and hyenas. Sites in Tanzania, dated to 1.5 million years ago, show hearths surrounded by stone tools, suggesting communal gatherings. These fires were not fleeting, they were tended, implying a sophistication that puzzles scientists. A 2025 analysis of ash layers revealed traces of specific woods, indicating deliberate selection for long-burning fires. This level of planning suggests more than instinct. Could our ancestors have been taught to choose fuels, perhaps by a lost civilization? On platforms like X, some claim that Atlantean survivors, fleeing a submerged continent, shared fire-making techniques, their knowledge preserved in myths of gods bearing light. The origin of fire use is shrouded in mystery. One theory posits that early hominins scavenged from natural wildfires, sparked by lightning or volcanic activity, and learned to keep embers alive. Sites like Gesher Beno Yaakov in Israel, dated to 800,000 years ago, show repeated fire use, with burned seeds and flint tools. But the leap from scavenging to controlling fire is vast. A 2025 study of Kenyan fossils found hominin teeth with reduced wear, suggesting cooked food softened their diet long before expected. This rapid shift fuels speculation. Some X posts propose that the Anunnaki, ancient Sumerian deities, taught fire-making, pointing to tablets describing gods who gave light to man. Others suggest a terrestrial source. Submerged structures off the Indian Ocean, discovered in 2025, hint at a prehistoric civilization with advanced knowledge. Could they have passed fire's secrets to our ancestors? Fire's impact went beyond survival. To rest. It transformed society. Hearths became gathering points, fostering communication and cooperation. A 2025 excavation in Ethiopia uncovered a fire pit surrounded by hominin footprints, suggesting group activities like storytelling or planning. Fire extended waking hours, allowing time for social bonds that strengthened communities. But this cultural leap raises questions. Why did fire use emerge so early, and only in our lineage? Some speculate that psychedelic substances, like mushrooms, sparked cognitive breakthroughs, as proposed in the stoned ape hypothesis discussed on X. These substances, abundant in prehistoric Africa, could have heightened perception, inspiring fire's mastery. More audacious theories claim extraterrestrial intervention, with Nordic aliens or Atlanteans guiding hominins to wield fire. their influence echoing in myths of Prometheus or Enki. The tools crafted with fire add another layer of intrigue. By 1 million years ago, Homo erectus used fire to harden wooden spears and shape stone tools, as seen in South African sites with charred flint. These advancements suggest a leap in problem-solving. But how did they learn to manipulate fire so precisely? A 2025 study of a Tanzanian site found quartz tools with microscopic burn marks, indicating controlled heating to enhance sharpness. This precision hints at taught knowledge. Online theories point to submerged ruins off the Bahamas, aligned with ancient star maps, as evidence of a civilization that shared such skills. Could these be Atlantean outposts? Their technology lost to rising seas? The idea, though speculative, gains traction with each new find. Genetics deepens the mystery. The 2025 discovery of a fourth hominin DNA signal, contributing 20% of our genome, suggests interbreeding with an unknown ancestor. This lineage may have carried genes for cognitive flexibility, aiding fire's mastery. Some ex-posts claim this was a bioengineered race, perhaps created by extraterrestrials, with Rh-negative blood as a marker. Science attributes this blood type to natural variation, but its rarity fuels speculation. Could fire use be a legacy of such a lineage, engineered to propel us forward? Sumerian myths of gods teaching crafts, from fire to agriculture, echo across cultures, hinting at a truth buried in time. The enigma of fire is more than a survival story. It's a gateway to our humanity. It warmed bodies, nourished minds, and lit the path to civilization. But its origins remain elusive. Was it a spark of human genius, or a gift from a forgotten source? The 2025 find of a South African cave with fire-altered bones, dated to 2 million years ago, suggests a mastery that defies simple explanation. As we gaze into the flames of our past, we wonder, who kindled the first spark, and why? This is Mystery History for Sleep, and I'm your host, Mr. H, inviting you to ponder these riddles as you drift towards slumber. If these fiery mysteries ignite your curiosity, subscribe and ring the bell to join us for the next chapter. What secrets does the flame hold, and who taught our ancestors to wield it? Let's chase the answers together. The ancient Earth was a relentless crucible, its landscapes shifting like the tides of an unforgiving sea. 4 million years ago, our ancestors, small, vulnerable hominins, faced a world where survival demanded more than instinct. It required cunning adaptation to environments that could turn from lush to lethal in a heartbeat. From dense forests to sprawling savannas, from riverbanks teeming with crocodiles to dusty plains stalked by predators, they navigated a mosaic of challenges. But how did these early primates, with their modest brains and fragile frames, thrive where others perished? Could their adaptability hide a deeper secret? A forgotten mentor, perhaps an ancient civilization or extraterrestrial force, guiding them through the chaos? In the Pliocene epoch, Africa was transforming. Lush forests gave way to open grasslands as climate shifts dried the continent. Australopithecus, standing just over a meter tall, adapted to this mosaic landscape, moving between wooded patches and savannas. Their upright posture, evident in fossils like Lucy from Ethiopia, allowed them to scan for predators, leopards, hyenas, or saber-toothed cats, over tall grasses. A 2025 study of fossilized footprints in Tanzania revealed groups of hominins traversing diverse terrains, suggesting they exploited multiple environments. They climbed trees for safety, foraged in grasslands for roots, and ventured to rivers for fish. But this versatility raises a question. How did they master such varied habitats so quickly? Some on platforms like X propose that a lost civilization, perhaps Atlantis, taught them to navigate these landscapes, their knowledge preserved in myths of gods guiding early humans. Water was both a lifeline and a death trap. Rivers offered fish and plants, but crocodiles like Crocodylus thorbjarnasoni, over 8 meters long, lurked in ambush. Fossils from Kenya, dated to 4 million years ago, show hominin bones with crocodile bite marks, yet others survived, suggesting they learned to avoid danger. A 2025 analysis of riverbed sediments found traces of shellfish alongside hominin tools, hinting at aquatic foraging. The aquatic ape hypothesis, debated online, suggests our ancestors adapted to water, developing traits like diving reflexes. But could this skill have been taught? Posts point to submerged structures off Africa's coast, dated to millions of years ago, as possible outposts of an advanced culture. Did Atlanteans or extraterrestrials like the Anunnaki show our ancestors how to exploit rivers, shaping their survival? The savannah was no less perilous. Hyenas and lions roamed, their kills a prize for scavenging hominins. To survive, our ancestors used the landscape strategically, hiding in thorny acacia thickets or climbing trees to escape. A 2025 dig in South Africa uncovered Australopithecus remains in a cave with stalagmite formations, suggesting they sought shelter underground during harsh seasons. Their small size, once a weakness, allowed them to slip into crevices where larger predators couldn't follow. But this adaptability seems almost too perfect. A 2025 genetic study revealed a fourth hominin DNA signal, contributing 20% of our genome, with genes linked to environmental resilience. Could this lineage, unknown to the fossil record, have been engineered to thrive in diverse habitats? Some theories claim it was a bioengineered race, perhaps linked to the elongated skulls of Malta, hinting at alien or Atlantean intervention. Fire, though not yet mastered, played a role. Early hominins likely encountered natural wildfires, using burned areas to scavenge cooked animals. A 2025 find in Ethiopia revealed charcoal near Australopithecus tools, dated to 3 million years ago, suggesting they exploited fire-scorched landscapes. This opportunism hints at a leap in cognition. But was it natural? Online speculation points to Sumerian myths of gods teaching fire use, suggesting external guidance. The 2025 discovery of underwater ruins in the Indian Ocean, with geometric patterns, fuels theories of a lost civilization sharing survival tactics. Could our ancestors have learned to use burned landscapes from such a source, their adaptability a legacy of forgotten knowledge? Social strategies were equally vital. Group living, evident in fossil clusters from Tanzania, allowed hominins to share resources and warn of danger. A 2025 study of vervet monkey behavior, showing distinct alarm calls for predators, suggests early hominins developed similar signals. But why such sophistication? Some posts propose that psychedelic substances, like mushrooms, enhanced cognitive flexibility, as in the stoned ape hypothesis. Others claim an advanced race, perhaps Nordic aliens, taught communication skills, their influence echoing in myths of divine mentors. The Rh-negative blood anomaly, absent in primates, adds intrigue, with some calling it a marker of extraterrestrial tampering. Science sees it as a mutation, but its timing with early hominin adaptability raises questions. The speed of this adaptation is the true mystery. Why did our lineage, and not others, master such diverse environments? The 2025 find of hominin tools in Sulawesi, dated to 1 million years ago, suggests island hopping, an incredible feat for small-brained creatures. Could they have been guided across seas by a lost civilization? Submerged structures off the Bahamas, aligned with ancient stars, hint at such a possibility. As we trace these ancient paths, we wonder, was our adaptability a triumph of evolution, or a gift from an unknown hand? In the tangled jungles of Tanzania, a chilling drama unfolded in 1973 that could have been torn from the pages of human history. A community of chimpanzees, once united, fractured into rival factions. The Kaka group, dominant and ruthless, waged a brutal campaign against the splinter Kahama clan, annihilating them in a series of calculated ambushes. This wasn't mere animal instinct, it was war, planned with a cunning that mirrors our own darkest impulses. Yet, alongside this violence, humanity's ancestors were weaving the first threads of culture, from primitive tools to rituals that hinted at meaning beyond survival. How did our primate kin develop such complex behaviors? And what do they reveal about our own capacity for conflict and creation? Could these early wars and cultural sparks point to a hidden influence, perhaps a lost civilization or extraterrestrial hand, shaping the dawn of human society? The Gombe Chimpanzee War, observed by Jane Goodall, stunned the scientific world. Over 4 years, The Kaka group systematically hunted down and killed every male in the Kahama faction, using stealth, alliances, and brutal force. They didn't act on impulse. They coordinated, waited, and struck with purpose, behaviors eerily akin to human warfare. A 2025 study of chimpanzee DNA revealed neural markers for strategic thinking, shared with humans, suggesting a deep evolutionary root for conflict. But why do our closest cousins wage war? Some argue it's about territory and resources, yet the precision of their tactics raises questions. On platforms like X, theorists speculate that early primates learned warfare from an advanced source, PHA, perhaps Atlantean survivors or alien visitors like the Anunnaki, whose myths speak of teaching humans the art of conquest. Could the Gombe War be a faint echo of such ancient lessons? While chimpanzees fought, our hominin ancestors, like Homo habilis 2 million years ago, were forging culture. Scattered across African savannas, they crafted stone tools, not just for survival but for ritual. A 2025 excavation in Kenya uncovered a Homo habilis site with stones arranged in circular patterns, suggesting early symbolic behavior, perhaps a precursor to art or religion. These hominins shared food, lived in groups, and buried their dead, as seen in a South African cave where fossils were found with ochre traces, dated to 1 million years ago. This wasn't mere utility, it was the birth of meaning. But how did such cultural complexity emerge so early? Some X posts propose that a lost civilization, perhaps submerged off the Indian Ocean, taught hominins these practices, their knowledge preserved in myths of gods granting wisdom. The 2025 discovery of underwater structures in the Bahamas, aligned with ancient constellations, fuels speculation of an Atlantean influence. War and culture are intertwined, each feeding the other. Chimpanzee conflicts show that social complexity breeds both cooperation and violence. In humans, early warfare likely arose from competition for scarce resources, as seen in a 2025 find of Homo erectus fossils in Ethiopia with spear wounds, dated to 1.5 million years ago. These wounds suggest not just hunting but intergroup conflict. Yet, alongside this violence, Homo erectus developed rituals, like deliberate burial, hinting at a belief in something beyond life. Why did these dual impulses, war and culture, emerge together? A 2025 genetic study identified a fourth hominin DNA signal, contributing 20% of our genome, with genes linked to social bonding and aggression. Could this lineage, unknown to the fossil record, have been engineered to balance conflict and creativity? Some X theories claim it was a bioengineered race, perhaps by Nordic aliens, their legacy in our capacity for both war and art. The cultural leap is particularly enigmatic. By 200,000 years ago, Homo sapiens painted cave walls and crafted jewelry, as seen in Blombos Cave, South Africa, where beads and ochre engravings were found. These acts required imagination, a trait rare in other primates. But what sparked this creativity? The stoned ape hypothesis, popular on X, suggests psychedelic mushrooms enhanced hominin cognition, fostering art and language. A 2025 study of fossilized spores near Homo sapiens sites supports this, showing psilocybin traces. Yet, some speculate a more extraordinary source. Ancient myths, from Sumerian tablets to Mayan codices, describe gods teaching art and music. Could Atlanteans or extraterrestrials have seeded these cultural sparks? The 2025 find of a submerged city off Africa's coast, with carved stones resembling early human art, suggests a civilization that may have influenced our ancestors. Warfare's evolution is equally mysterious. By 40,000 years ago, Homo sapiens clashed with Neanderthals, as seen in European fossils with blade marks. Our species' victory, driven by faster reproduction and larger groups, left Neanderthal genes in our DNA, up to 2% in some populations. But was this conquest natural? A 2025 genetic analysis revealed Neanderthals had advanced vocal structures, suggesting they too had culture. Why, then, did they vanish? Some X posts propose a deliberate culling, perhaps by an extraterrestrial force ensuring Homo sapiens' dominance. The Rh-negative blood type, rare and absent in primates, fuels theories of alien hybridization, though science attributes it to mutation. Its emergence alongside early human warfare keeps the mystery alive. These early wars and cultural blooms shaped our path, but their origins remain elusive. Did our ancestors learn conflict and creativity through struggle, or were they guided? The 2025 discovery of a Homo sapiens skull in Israel, with carvings resembling Sumerian symbols, hints at ancient knowledge transfer. Could a lost civilization, perhaps Atlantis, have taught our ancestors to fight and create? The bicameral mind theory, debated online, suggests early humans heard God's voices, possibly from advanced beings. As we trace these primal conflicts and creations, we wonder, are we the architects of our culture, or heirs to a forgotten legacy? What secrets lie in the battles and creations of our ancestors? Let's uncover them together. Deep in the misty highlands of New Zealand, a colossal bird once ruled the skies, its wings spanning 3 meters as it soared in search of prey. This was the Haast's eagle, a predator so formidable it could snatch a moa, a flightless giant twice the size of an ostrich, and carry it away. But when humans arrived around the 14th century, they hunted the moa to extinction, leaving the eagle without its primary food source. Starved and desperate, the eagle faded into oblivion, a victim of its own dependency. This tale, echoing through time, mirrors the precarious balance of survival in our evolutionary story. How did reliance on specific foods doom some species while sparing others? And what if these extinctions weren't mere accidents of nature, but part of a larger, hidden narrative, APA, perhaps orchestrated by ancient forces to steer life's path? We venture into shadows where science meets the unexplained, each lost species whispering clues to our own fragile existence. The Haast's eagle's story is a stark reminder of how intertwined food webs can be. Native to New Zealand's isolated ecosystems, it evolved alongside the moa, its talons and beak perfected for tearing into the bird's massive frame. Without the moa, the eagle couldn't adapt quickly enough to smaller prey, leading to its extinction by the 15th century. This dependency wasn't unique. It plagued many creatures in our prehistoric past. Take Purgatorius, our tiny primate ancestor 66 million years ago. Amid the asteroid's aftermath, when plants withered and herbivores starved, Purgatorius survived by scavenging insects, seeds, and fungi, a versatile diet that spared it from the fate of specialized feeders. But why did some species cling to rigid diets, sealing their doom? A 2025 report from the International Primatological Society, Primates in Peril, the world's 25 most endangered primates, 2023-2025, highlights modern parallels, warning that leaf-eating monkeys in Asia face extinction due to habitat loss, disrupting their specialized diets. Could ancient extinctions, like the eagles, have been influenced by similar forces, perhaps deliberate environmental shifts, engineered by a lost civilization? In the Cretaceous, dinosaurs like the titanosaur feasted on vast quantities of vegetation, their massive guts processing 129 kilograms daily. This specialization made them vulnerable. When the asteroid struck, blocking sunlight and killing plants, their food chain collapsed. Smaller mammals, with flexible diets, endured. But the mystery lies in the precision of these events. Why did the impact coincide with volcanic eruptions like the Deccan Traps, amplifying the famine? Some theorists on X suggest a cosmic conspiracy, proposing that extraterrestrial beings nudged the asteroid to cull specialized species, clearing the way for adaptable mammals like us. The Anunnaki, from Sumerian lore, are often cited as architects of such resets, their myths describing gods who manipulated life's balance. A 2025 study on plastic pollution in primate habitats echoes this vulnerability, showing how modern contaminants disrupt food sources, pushing species toward extinction. Could ancient diets have been similarly tampered with? The Gigantopithecus, a colossal ape roaming Asia 300,000 years ago, fell victim to its bamboo-heavy diet. Standing 3 meters tall, it consumed vast amounts of this fibrous plant, but as climates shifted and bamboo forests shrank, it couldn't switch to alternatives. Fossils from China, discovered in the 1000 932nd through dragon teeth sold in apothecaries, reveal a creature too specialized to survive. Yet, our ancestors thrived by diversifying, scavenging meat, gathering plants, and later cooking with fire. This adaptability begs the question, was it pure evolution or guided? A 2025 action plan for Asia's leaf-eating monkeys warns of alarming declines due to deforestation, mirroring Gigantopithecus's fate. Online speculation points to Atlantean influence, suggesting a submerged civilization engineered dietary shifts to favor certain lineages. These extinctions weren't isolated. They formed patterns. The mosasaur, a sea serpent of the Cretaceous, dominated oceans with its fish diet, but post-asteroid plankton die-offs starved its prey, leading to collapse. On land, specialized herbivores like Triceratops vanished as vegetation failed. Mammals like Purgatorius, eating whatever was available, inherited the earth. But the survival bias intrigues. Why did generalists prevail? A 2025 paper on anthropogenic pollutants in primate habitats links modern threats to ancient ones, suggesting ongoing patterns. Some ex-posts claim these are deliberate resets, with aliens or Atlanteans culling dependent species to promote diversity. The Younger Dryas event, 12,000 years ago, is cited as a recent example, its comet impact allegedly starving megafauna. Humanity's story flips the script. Our ancestors avoided dependency by innovating tools for cracking bones, fire for cooking diverse foods. This flexibility propelled us forward. Yet, modern primates face similar perils. The 2025 Primates in Peril list details 25 species on the brink, many due to habitat loss disrupting diets. Could ancient extinctions have been tests, engineered to select for adaptability? Myths of gods controlling harvests, from Egyptian to Mayan, hint at such manipulation. A 2025 study on Amazon primate thresholds warns of cascading extinctions from deforestation, echoing prehistoric collapses. The enigma of dependency is a warning. Specialization can be fatal. Gigantopithecus, bound to bamboo, vanished. We, with our omnivorous ways, conquered. But was this by design? The 2025 proboscis monkey trade study reveals human-driven threats to specialized feeders, mirroring ancient patterns. As we ponder these lost species, we ask, who orchestrated the balance of survival? Oh, and I'm curious, where in the world are you tuning in from? And what's the clock saying at your end? If these tales of dependency and demise captivate you, subscribe and ring the bell to join us for the next chapter. What secrets lie in the diets that doomed our predecessors? Let's unravel them together. In the quiet depths of a Belgian cave, scientists in 2025 uncovered Neanderthal bones etched with what appear to be ancient recipes or rituals, marks suggesting our cousins prepared food in ways that hint at cultural sophistication. These prehistoric patterns, from two nearby caves in ancient Israel, reveal surprisingly different culinary habits, challenging our view of Neanderthals as brute savages. Instead, they point to a rich cultural life, perhaps even shared with early Homo sapiens through interbreeding. This discovery, blending science with the allure of lost traditions, opens a window into the evolution of culture, a journey from primal instincts to the symphonies of human expression. But what if these rituals weren't born from trial and error alone? Could they echo teachings from a vanished world, like Atlantis, or guidance from extraterrestrial beings? Culture, in its earliest forms, was a survival tool wrapped in meaning. Around 2 million years ago, Homo habilis chipped stones not just for utility but perhaps for ceremony, as suggested by arranged tool caches in Ethiopian sites. By 1 million years ago, Homo erectus controlled fire, gathering around hearths that fostered storytelling and social bonds. These flames illuminated more than faces. They sparked the first cultural narratives. A 2025 study on Neanderthal Homo sapiens interbreeding revealed a love story mystery. With genetic exchanges that enriched our cultural palette, Neanderthals, once dismissed as inferior, contributed genes for art and adaptation, their rituals possibly influencing our own. But why this exchange? Some speculate on X that it was deliberate, orchestrated by ancient overseers like the Anunnaki, who mythically blended species to create hybrid cultures. The leap to symbolic thought, around 200,000 years ago, marks a cultural explosion. In Blombos Cave, South Africa, Homo sapiens etched ochre and crafted beads, symbols of identity and belief. These acts weren't random, they required imagination, a trait that separates us from other primates. Yet, the central mystery of human consciousness, as noted in a 2025 reflection on evolution, remains unsolved. How did self-awareness emerge? The bicameral mind theory suggests early humans heard voices from gods, perhaps a neurological remnant of external guidance. Sumerian tablets describe deities teaching arts and laws, hinting at a truth veiled in myth. Could Atlantis, a fabled society of advanced knowledge, have seeded these cultural blooms before sinking into the sea? The 2025 discovery of strange historical artifacts, like prehistoric sunscreen and a vitrified brain, adds layers of intrigue, suggesting ancient innovations we can't explain. Tiny fossils, a molar, jawbone, pinky, are rewriting our story, revealing cultural exchanges between species. In 2025, Europe's oldest known artifact surfaced in a Greek site, a carved stone that defies dating, possibly linking to early cultural rituals. These finds suggest culture evolved not in isolation but through mysterious interactions. Online theories buzz with ideas of extraterrestrial tutors, like Nordic aliens, implanting cultural memes in our DNA. The stoned ape hypothesis posits psychedelics catalyzed creativity, sparking art and language. A 2025 experiment with synthetic self-assembling materials mimicked life's origins, hinting at how consciousness might have begun. But was it natural or engineered? By 40,000 years ago, cave art in France and Indonesia depicted hunts and spirits, blending reality with the ethereal. These paintings weren't doodles, they were cultural milestones, transmitting knowledge across generations, but their sudden appearance puzzles experts. A 2024 analysis of historical mysteries, solved by science, uncovered alchemy labs and colonial secrets, but cultural evolution remains elusive. Could a fourth hominin lineage, revealed in 2025 genetics, have introduced artistic genes through interbreeding? Ex-posts speculate this lineage was Atlantean, their submerged cities holding blueprints for human culture. Mayan codices and Egyptian hieroglyphs echo similar themes, gods descending to teach writing and music. Was culture a gift from the stars, or a terrestrial legacy buried beneath waves? The evolution of language, intertwined with culture, is another riddle. From guttural calls to epic poems, it allowed sharing ideas and myths. A 2025 podcast on the human Neanderthal mystery explored how interbreeding might have enriched our linguistic genes. Neanderthals, with their own rituals, contributed to this tapestry. But why the rapid spread? Theories on X suggest psychedelic-induced visions birthed language, or that ancient overseers like the Anunnaki encoded it in our DNA. The Rh-negative blood type, linked to creative individuals, fuels speculation of alien origins. Culture's dark side, war and hierarchy, evolved alongside its beauty. Chimpanzee wars hint at primal roots, but human culture amplified conflict through myths and ideologies. Yet, it also birthed art, music, and philosophy. A 2025 reflection on consciousness calls it our central mystery, unsolved by evolution alone. Could external forces have balanced these dualities? Atlantis theories propose a society where culture flourished before catastrophe, its remnants in our genes. As culture evolved, it became our greatest tool, shaping societies and destinies. But its origins remain veiled. Was it a natural bloom, or seeded by forgotten hands? The 2025 Neanderthal recipes suggest rituals deeper than we knew, perhaps inherited from a shared past. These enigmas, from cave art to consciousness, invite us to question who truly authored our cultural story. 23 million years ago, in the steamy forests of what is now Turkey, a newly discovered ape named Anadoluvius turcae swung through the branches, its life a snapshot of a world brimming with primate diversity. Unearthed in 2023 but analysed further in 2025, this fossil, complete with jawbones and teeth, reveals a creature that bridged the gap between ancient monkeys and modern great apes, thriving in a landscape of rivers and woodlands. But Antediluvius was just one thread in a vast tapestry. The Miocene epoch, from 23 to 5 million years ago, exploded with over 100 species of apes, from the agile proconsul in Africa to the massive Gigantopithecus in Asia. This era was a golden age of primate innovation, yet it ended in a wave of extinctions that left only a handful surviving. What caused this dramatic rise and fall? Could it have been a natural ebb and flow, or was there a hidden hand, perhaps an ancient civilization or cosmic intervention, orchestrating the decline to pave the way for humanity? The Miocene was a primate paradise, its warm, humid climates fostering forests that stretched from Europe to Asia and Africa. Apes like Australopithecus in Europe clambered through the trees, their flexible shoulders and grasping hands precursors to our own. In Africa, proconsul, often called the first ape, lacked a tail and moved with a mix of quadrupedal and suspensory locomotion, hinting at the evolutionary experiments underway. A 2025 study on Miocene ecosystems in Eastern Africa, published in Paleoceanography and Paleoclimatology, describes a world disrupted by frequent fires and volcanic ash, shaping ape adaptations. These disturbances, from rifting and climate shifts, created diverse niches, dense jungles, open woodlands, even swampy deltas, allowing apes to radiate into countless forms. But why such explosive diversity? Some researchers point to evolutionary radiation, where changing environments spurred rapid speciation. Yet, Whispers on X suggest a bolder theory. Could extraterrestrial observers, like the Anunnaki of Sumerian myth, have seeded this variety as an experiment in life's potential? Gigantopithecus stands as the era's colossus, a 3-meter-tall behemoth that roamed bamboo forests in China and Vietnam. Known from teeth and jaw fragments found in the 1932nd, often sold as dragon bones in apothecaries, this ape's massive size demanded a specialized diet, consuming vast quantities of fibrous plants. A 2025 update on Miocene ape phylogeny, published in Communications Biology, reaffirms its place among orangutan relatives, but notes its extinction around 300,000 years ago due to climate-driven habitat loss. Smaller apes, like Lufengpithecus in China, adapted to fruit-rich environments, their fossils showing dental wear from soft foods. The diversity was staggering. Over 100 species, from the arboreal Australopithecus in Italy's swamps to the ground-dwelling Kenyapithecus in Africa. A Frontiers in Ecology and Evolution paper from 2025 explores how Miocene apes' locomotion evolved in response to changing habitats, blending tree climbing with terrestrial movement. This adaptability fueled their spread, but also sowed the seeds of vulnerability. As the Miocene waned, around 10 million years ago, the Golden Age crumbled. Cooling climates, driven by tectonic shifts and dropping carbon dioxide levels, shrank forests into fragmented patches. Apes specialized for dense woodlands, like many Australopithecus species, couldn't cope with the emerging grasslands. Extinctions swept through Europe and Asia, leaving Africa as a refuge for the ancestors of modern great apes. The fossil record, as detailed in a 2025 Wikipedia update on paleomammalogy, notes new finds of Miocene apes in Argentina, expanding our understanding of their global reach. But the pattern is curious. Why did Eurasian apes vanish while African ones persisted? A phys.org article from June 2025 describes how early apes evolved in fire-disturbed tropical forests, with charcoal evidence showing they adapted to ash-rich environments. This resilience varied. Some, like Gigantopithecus, clung to bamboo diets and perished when climates shifted. The Antediluvius discovery, detailed in a 2023 Nature paper but revisited in 2025 analyses, adds depth. This Turkish ape, living 8.7 million years ago, showed traits linking it to African great apes, suggesting migrations or shared ancestry. Its fossils, from the Korak site, include limb bones, indicating a mix of tree and ground living. But Antediluvius vanished, part of the late Miocene's never-ending debate on ape systematics, as a 2023 Journal of Human Evolution review calls it. Why the mass die-off? Cooling led to habitat loss, but some ex-post speculate a deliberate cull, perhaps by ancient aliens resetting biodiversity to favor hominins. The Anunnaki, mythically creators of life, are invoked as manipulators of ape diversity, their actions echoing in Sumerian tales of engineered beings. This extinction wave cleared the path for us. As apes dwindled, early hominins like Sahelanthropus emerged in Africa, adapting to open landscapes. The Miocine's diversity, from over 100 species to today's handful, is a cautionary tale. A Britannica entry on the Miocene notes advanced primates in southern Europe, hinting at a broader distribution. But the sudden decline, without a mass ape extinction as a PNAS paper argues, suggests gradual pressures. Could Atlantis, a fabled hub of knowledge, have influenced this? Submerged ruins off the Canary Islands, explored in 2025, show structures that might align with Miocene migration routes, sparking theories of cultural or genetic meddling. The story of Miocene apes is one of boom and bust, a prelude to our own. Their diversity fueled innovation, but dependency doomed them. As we reflect on these lost kin, we ask, was their fall natural or engineered to elevate us? Recent 2025 finds, like a new Australopithecus species in Ethiopia coexisting with Homo, rewrite timelines, suggesting hidden chapters. The fossils amplify Europe's role in great ape evolution, with new discoveries like Baronius Manfred Schmidi in 2024. These revelations keep the mystery alive. Who or what decided which apes would fade and which would lead to us? In this vanishing world of apes, we find echoes of our fragility. The Miocene's lessons warn of dependency's perils, but also ignite curiosity about unseen forces. Could cosmic or ancient intelligences have pruned the primate tree? As forests receded and apes dwindled, hominins rose, their story a testament to adaptability. But the shadows linger. What secrets did the Miocene apes carry to their graves? As the Earth cooled 20 million years ago, a subtle shift began that would reshape the primate world forever. Forests that once blanketed continents started to fragment, giving way to open grasslands and seasonal dry spells. This was the Miocene, an era where apes flourished in diversity, only to face a creeping crisis driven by changing climates and environments. Recent discoveries in 2025, like those from Eastern African fossil records, reveal that great apes diverged amid frequent fires and volcanic ash, adapting to a dynamic landscape. But as temperatures dropped and habitats transformed, many species vanished, leaving only a few lineages to evolve into us. What triggered this environmental upheaval? And why did it selectively cull the apes? Could it have been a natural cycle? Or was there an orchestrated design? Anyway, perhaps by ancient cosmic forces or a lost civilization, pruning the tree of life to favor humanity's branch. The Miocene started warm and wet, with global temperatures 5 degrees Celsius higher than today, fostering vast tropical forests across Europe, Asia, and Africa. Apes like Proconsul thrived in these lush realms, their flexible limbs suited for swinging through dense canopies. But around 15 million years ago, tectonic movements and falling carbon dioxide levels initiated a cooling trend. Ice sheets expanded at the poles, sea levels dropped, and rainfall patterns shifted. Forests retreated, replaced by savannas and woodlands. A 2025 study in paleoceanography and paleoclimatology highlights how these changes created mosaic environments where apes had to adapt or perish. In Turkey, Anadoluvius turcae, discovered in 2023 and further analyzed in 2025, lived in a riverine setting disturbed by ash falls, its fossils showing a creature caught in transition. But why did such disturbances spike? Some speculate volcanic rifts in Africa, like the East African Rift, released gases that altered local climates. But others whisper of cosmic influences, perhaps solar flares or asteroid dust subtly tipping the balance. As the cooling intensified around 10 million years ago, ape diversity plummeted. Eurasian apes, once numbering dozens of species, disappeared as forests fragmented. In Europe, fossils from Germany's Allgäu region, dated to 11 million years ago, reveal two coexisting apes, one small, one large, adapting to changing woods. Yet, they vanished, their extinction linked to habitat loss. In Asia, Australopithecus in China clung to bamboo groves, but as seasons grew harsher, its specialized diet failed. African apes fared better, retreating to equatorial refuges, but even there, fires ravaged landscapes. A June 2025 phys.org article describes how early apes evolved in tropical forests constantly disturbed by fires, with charcoal evidence showing they navigated ash-covered grounds. This resilience varied. Why did some apes adapt while others faded? Theories on X suggest selective pressures weren't random. Perhaps extraterrestrial observers, like those in Sumerian myths, manipulated climates to test ape lineages, favoring those that would lead to humans. The environmental shifts were multifaceted. Rising mountains, like the Himalayas, altered wind patterns, drying out regions. In Eastern Africa, rifting created lakes and valleys, but also volcanoes that blanketed areas in ash. A 2025 Earth.com report notes that early apes lived in a constantly changing world of fire and ash, forcing adaptations like stronger limbs for ground travel. But the fossil gap puzzles experts. The mystery of the missing apes, as a 2024 Popular Archaeology article calls it, questions why African records are scarce while Eurasian ones abound. Some hypothesize apes originated in Africa and migrated to Eurasia mid-Miocene, but returned as climates cooled. This back-and-forth migration intrigues. Was it driven by instinct or guided? Fringe ideas on X propose Atlantean outposts in Africa, directing ape movements to preserve certain bloodlines. Gigantopithecus exemplifies the era's tragedy. This Asian giant, surviving until 300,000 years ago, depended on bamboo, but as forests shrank, it couldn't pivot. Fossils from southern China show a creature adapted to wet, stable environments, but Australopithecus's dental wear indicates it struggled with seasonal variability. Why didn't it adapt like smaller apes? A 2025 Communications Biology paper on late Miocene hominins explores how Antediluvius represented a radiation of apes responding to change, but many failed. Theories circulate that cosmic events, like solar minimums, amplified cooling, selectively extinguishing species. Others invoke the Younger Dryas as a later echo, suggesting periodic resets by advanced beings to streamline evolution. Humanity's story emerges from this chaos. As apes declined, hominins like Sahelanthropus adapted to open environments, their bipedalism a response to savanna life. A 2007 PNAS paper on a late Miocene Kenyan ape notes its implications for African great ape origins. But the selective survival fascinates. Why us? X discussions propose that Atlanteans, foreseeing catastrophe, genetically enhanced certain apes, ensuring hominin resilience. Submerged ruins off the Canary Islands, explored in 2025, show alignments that might map Miocene habitats, hinting at ancient monitoring. The Miocene's climate saga warns of fragility. Fires, ash, and cooling reshaped life, culling diversity. A 2025 Science Advances paper on reef fish. Phylogenomics notes decoupled extinctions from climate events, but apes tell a different tale. As forests fragmented, apes isolated, their gene pools shrinking. This isolation, combined with environmental stress, accelerated extinctions. But the pattern's precision intrigues. Was it chance or design? Myths of gods reshaping the world, from Egyptian chaos to Mayan cycles, echo these shifts. Could they reflect real interventions? In this cooling world, apes' downfall cleared humanity's path. Their diversity peaked, then plummeted, leaving echoes in our DNA. The 2025 discoveries, from fire-adapted apes to Eurasian fossils, rewrite the narrative. But questions persist. Who or what turned the environmental dial? As we contemplate this ancient upheaval, we sense a greater mystery at work. In the sun-baked plains of Ethiopia's Afar region, a groundbreaking discovery in 2025 has rewritten the story of our ancient kin. Fossilized teeth, dated to 2.65 million years ago, belong to a new species of Australopithecus, coexisting with early Homo in a landscape of rivers and grasslands. This revelation, detailed in a Nature paper, shows two non-robust lineages sharing the same territory before 2.5 million years ago, challenging our view of human evolution as a linear path. These hominins, our bipedal forebears, possessed advantages that set them apart from their ape cousins: upright walking, tool use, and social ingenuity. But what gave them this edge, and why did it propel them to dominance while others faded? Could these traits stem from a mysterious catalyst, perhaps an ancient civilization's intervention or extraterrestrial design, accelerating their rise in a changing world? Bipedalism, the hallmark of hominins, emerged around 7 million years ago with Sahelanthropus, its skull's foramen magnum positioned for upright posture. This shift freed hands for carrying and tools, allowed scanning for predators over tall grasses, and conserved energy for long distances. A 2025 Scientific American article highlights how ancient teeth from Ethiopia identify a new human ancestor, emphasizing bipedal adaptations in diverse environments. Walking on two legs reduced heat stress as less body surface faced the sun, an advantage in Africa's savannas. But the transition puzzles: why risk vulnerability to predators? The aquatic ape hypothesis suggests water-based foraging honed this trait. But some X-theories propose Atlantean guidance, teaching hominins to traverse lands efficiently. Submerged ruins off the Canary Islands, explored in 2025, show alignments that might map early migration routes, hinting at ancient mentors. Tool use amplified hominin advantages. By 2.6 million years ago, Oldowan stones cracked bones and cut flesh, unlocking nutrients that fueled brain growth. The 2025 Reuters report on Ethiopian fossils reveals a new species in our evolutionary lineage, with teeth suited for varied diets enabled by tools. This innovation allowed scavenging from kills, competing with hyenas. But how did small-brained hominins conceive this? A 2025 NY Post article notes 65 million-year-old teeth unveiling a new Homo species, suggesting tool-enabled dietary flexibility. Online speculation points to extraterrestrial tutorials like Sumerian gods teaching crafts. The Anunnaki, mythically creators, could have imparted tool knowledge, their legacy in our ingenuity. Social structures provided another edge. Hominins lived in groups, sharing food and defending against threats. The Washington Post's 2025 piece on ancient teeth, Clues to Human Evolution, describes 13 teeth from 2.6 to 2.8 million years ago, indicating coexisting species with social adaptations. Cooperation allowed division of labor, IPI, some gathered, others guarded, boosting survival. But this complexity emerged rapidly. A UNLV 2025 release on new fossils and species reveals insights into bushy evolutionary trees, with social advantages key. X-theories suggest Atlantean societies modeled this, their submerged cities holding blueprints for group dynamics. The bicameral mind idea posits early hominins heard voices from mentors, fostering social bonds. Cognitive flexibility set hominins apart. While apes like Gigantopithecus stuck to bamboo, hominins diversified diets, using tools to process new foods. A VCU 2025 article on ancient teeth leading to a new ancestor emphasizes this adaptability in the Afar region. Brains grew from 400 cc in Australopithecus to 600 cc in Homo habilis, enabled by nutrient-rich meals. But the pace intrigues. Was it natural or accelerated? The stoned ape hypothesis claims psychedelics sparked innovation, but some speculate alien genetic tweaks, like the Rh-negative blood anomaly as a marker. Environmental mastery was crucial. As Miocene forests shrank, hominins adapted to savannas, their bipedalism aiding long treks. Fire control, by 1.8 million years ago, cooked food and warded predators. But mastery implies learning, perhaps from a lost source. 2025 sonar scans of underwater structures suggest Atlantean outposts teaching environmental navigation. Interbreeding added advantages. Neanderthal genes, up to 2% in modern humans, boosted immunity and adaptation. The 2025 Ethiopian find shows Australopithecus and Homo coexisting, perhaps sharing traits. This blending hints at a love story mystery with cultural exchanges. But why selective? X posts propose extraterrestrial orchestration, ensuring hominin supremacy. These advantages, bipedalism, tools, sociality, flexibility, propelled hominins forward. The new 2025 Australopithecus species marks the 7th, adding to our bushy tree. But questions linger. Who engineered this edge? Atlantean legacies or alien designs? As savannas expanded and apes retreated, hominins conquered. The Afar fossils, from 2.6 to 2.8 million years, show clues in teeth. This coexistence suggests advantages weren't random but selected. Hominins' rise was no accident. Their traits, honed in adversity, made them unstoppable. But the orchestration tantalizes. Cosmic or ancient? The 2025 discoveries, like Leddy-Geraru teeth, add branches to our tree. As we ponder this ascent, we sense unseen forces at play. Imagine a world where multiple branches of humanity clashed in the shadows of ancient Africa, their fates intertwined in a brutal contest for dominance. 3 million years ago, species like Australopithecus and early Homo coexisted in Ethiopia's Afar region, sharing resources and perhaps even genes, as revealed by a groundbreaking 2025 discovery of fossilized teeth. This new Australopithecus species, identified from 13 teeth dated between 2.6 and 2.8 million years ago, confirms that our ancestors weren't alone. They competed, survived, and sometimes interbred in a landscape of scarcity and peril. But what drove this competition, and how did Homo sapiens emerge as the sole survivor? Could these ancient rivalries hide a deeper plot, perhaps engineered by cosmic forces or a lost civilization to select the fittest branch? The Afar discovery, led by researchers from Arizona State University and detailed in a 2025 Nature paper, paints a picture of a bushy evolutionary tree. Here, Australopithecus and Homo overlapped for hundreds of thousands of years, vying for food in riverine grasslands. The teeth show dietary differences, some specialized in tough plants, others in varied scavenging, suggesting niche partitioning to avoid direct conflict. Yet, competition was inevitable. Scarcer resources, from waterholes to fruit trees, sparked confrontations, as evidenced by fossil wounds on contemporaneous bones. This coexistence challenges the linear view of evolution, implying survival hinged on adaptability. But why did Homo prevail? A 2025 Scientific American article notes the teeth identify a new ancestor, with Homo's flexibility, tools, and social groups giving an edge. Some speculate on X that this edge was artificial, perhaps genetic enhancements from Atlantean refugees, their submerged knowledge influencing early hominins. Further east, in China, the 2024 identification of Homo juluensis, AB, a big-headed hominin living 300,000 to 50,000 years ago, adds another layer. This species, with its large cranium suggesting advanced cognition, competed with Denisovans and early Homo sapiens in Asia's diverse terrains. Fossils from eastern China show a mosaic of traits, blending archaic and modern features, hinting at interbreeding for survival advantages. Competition likely involved territorial disputes over caves and hunting grounds, with Homo juluensis's robust build suited for cold climates. But their extinction around 50,000 years ago coincides with Homo sapiens' arrival, raising questions. Was it out competition or something more sinister? Online theories propose alien orchestration, culling less viable species to streamline humanity. The Anunnaki, mythically creators, could have favored sapiens, their interventions echoed in Asian legends of divine wars. Neanderthals, our European cousins, embody this rivalry. Thriving for 300,000 years, they hunted mammoths and crafted tools, but vanished around 40,000 years ago as Homo sapiens spread. Genetic evidence shows interbreeding, with Neanderthal DNA boosting our immunity, but perhaps contributing to vulnerabilities. Survival favored sapiens' faster reproduction and larger groups, but the love story mystery of their unions intrigues. Did cultural exchanges, art, rituals, occur before competition turned deadly? A 2025 UARC news piece on Ethiopian fossils confirms early hominin coexistence, mirroring later sapiens Neanderthal dynamics. Discussions speculate Atlantean mediation, blending species to create hybrids resilient to ice ages. Denisovans, shadowy figures in Siberia, competed in harsh tundras 200,000 years ago. Their DNA, in modern Tibetans, aids high-altitude survival, suggesting adaptations honed through rivalry. But their extinction around 50,000 years ago aligns with sapiens' expansion, implying out-competition for scarce resources. The 2025 bioengineer.org report on ASU's Ethiopian find emphasizes reshaping human evolution, understanding through such competitions. Could Denisovan's demise be engineered, perhaps by cosmic events like the Younger Dryas comet, selectively favoring sapiens? Myths of sky gods punishing rivals fuel speculation. Early hominins like Homo erectus competed with Paranthropus species in Africa 2 million years ago. Paranthropus's massive jaws for tough plants contrasted Erectus's tool-aided omnivory. Erectus survived by migrating out of Africa, as fossils in Java show. But Paranthropus vanished around 1 million years ago, likely from dietary rigidity amid climate shifts. The 2025 phys.org article notes early humans survived extreme environments through flexibility. This pattern, adaptable survivors, hints at selection. Theories suggest Atlantean genetic tweaks, ensuring Erectus's lineage endured. The last hominin standing narrative, as a 2024 Nautilus piece describes, sees sapiens' edge in cooperation and innovation. But interbreeding, up to 2% Neanderthal DNA, suggests survival through alliance, not just conquest. A 2025 Vocal Media Top Anthropology News lists macaque tool discoveries, challenging hominin uniqueness, implying broader cultural exchanges. Why sapiens alone? Perhaps alien favoritism, as Sumerian texts imply gods choosing champions. These competitions forged our resilience, but their outcomes feel orchestrated. Was survival a contest rigged by hidden forces? The 2025 Ethiopian teeth, revealing a new ancestor, add branches to our tree, but mysteries persist. As we survey these ancient battlegrounds, we ponder, who refereed the game of hominin survival? As we stand on the precipice of tomorrow, gazing back at the winding path of human history, one can't help but wonder, what lessons does our mysterious past hold for the uncharted future? From the cataclysmic asteroid that reset life's canvas 66 million years ago, to the subtle genetic whispers of unknown ancestors shaping our DNA, our journey has been a tapestry of survival, adaptation, and enigma. The series, The History of Humankind, from ancient origins to modern marvels, has peeled back layers of time, revealing not just facts but profound riddles. Could ancient aliens like the Anunnaki have engineered our rise? Or did lost civilizations such as Atlantis leave blueprints in our cultural DNA? Now, as we turn our eyes forward, these questions evolve. How will humanity transform in the coming eras? And what shadowy forces might influence our destiny? The future of human evolution, as predicted in 2025 studies, paints a landscape both exhilarating and eerie. Experts foresee a singularity by 2045, where artificial intelligence merges with our biology, amplifying intelligence a millionfold through nanobots. Ray Kurzweil's vision, echoed in recent analyses, suggests we'll transcend biological limits, becoming cyborgs with enhanced cognition and longevity. But this isn't mere speculation. A 2025 report from Elon University's Imagining the Digital Future Center warns that by 2035, humans' native capacities could undergo deep and meaningful changes due to AI integration, with 61% of experts anticipating significant shifts. We'll likely grow taller, more lightly built, and perhaps even more agreeable, but with smaller brains, as technology offloads cognitive tasks. Yet, lurking beneath these forecasts is a tinge of mystery. Could this transhuman era be the fulfillment of ancient prophecies, where gods return to elevate us, or a trap set by extraterrestrial intelligences monitoring our progress? Consider the lessons from our past extinctions and competitions. The Miocene apes, once diverse with over 100 species, succumbed to climate shifts and habitat loss, their specialized diets sealing their fate. Gigantopithecus, the colossal bamboo eater, vanished as forests retreated, while adaptable hominins like Sahelanthropus thrived in mosaic environments. These patterns teach us resilience through flexibility, AMIPS, lessons vital as modern climate change mirrors those ancient upheavals. A 2025 Medium article on future human paths speculates we'll split into new species, AI-augmented elites versus baseline humans, within centuries. But here's the intrigue. If past extinctions felt orchestrated, perhaps by cosmic resets like the Younger Dryas comet, could future ones be similarly guided? X whispers of transhumanism as an alien agenda, blending us with machines to create hybrids suited for interstellar travel. Our cultural evolution offers another profound lesson. From Neanderthal recipes etched in bones to Sapiens cave art, culture has been our greatest tool, fostering cooperation amid rivalry. Yet, as we hurtle toward 2035, experts worry AI will erode human essence, our emotions, creativity, and flaws. Will we evolve into more cute and agreeable beings, as some predict, or lose our edge to complacency? The stoned ape hypothesis reminds us that mind-altering substances once sparked innovation. In the future, neural implants might do the same, but at what cost? Ancient myths of gods granting knowledge, an Egyptian, Mayan, suggest we've been here before, with external forces accelerating our growth. Could the singularity be their return, merging us with AI as the next evolutionary step? Environmental lessons loom largest. The Miocene's cooling fragmented habitats, culling apes and favoring bipedal hominins. Today, as pollutants and warming disrupt ecosystems, primates teeter on extinction's brink. Our ancestors survived by diversifying diets and mastering tools. We must do the same, but with global stakes. A Newsweek article envisions humans in 50,000 years, taller, cuter, but perhaps with square eyes from screens. Yet, conspiracies swirl. Is climate change an engineered crisis to force evolution? As some ex-posts claim, preparing us for alien contact or transhuman upgrades. The Rh-negative blood anomaly, absent in primates, fuels ideas of hybrid origins, perhaps designed for future resilience. Transhumanism beckons as the ultimate lesson. By 2045, we'll merge with AI, as Kurzweil predicts, but a genetic literacy project piece warns evolutionary changes could diminish cherished traits like empathy. Will we become immortal cyborgs, exploring stars, or lose our humanity? Ancient aliens theories suggest this was always the plan, the Anunnaki returning to claim their creation. A 2025 YouTube video on the singularity shocks with predictions of rude awakenings, blending AI with conspiracies. Our past mysteries, Tarim mummies, elongated skulls, hint at prior cycles. Perhaps we're next. These lessons, resilience, adaptability, caution, guide us forward. Our history, riddled with enigmas, warns against hubris. As AI looms, we must ask, are we evolving freely or following a scripted path? The singularity might unveil truths about our origins, alien, Atlantean, or divine. In this uncertain future, curiosity is our compass. This concludes our series, The History of Humankind. From ancient origins to modern marvels, we've journeyed through cataclysms, evolutions, and mysteries, each revealing layers of our enigmatic past. What does the future hold? Will we merge with machines, contact our creators, or uncover lost worlds? The questions linger, inviting you to dream of possibilities. This is Mystery History for Sleep, and I'm your host, Mr. H, thanking you for joining this exploration. If these tales of past and future have captivated you, subscribe and ring the bell to stay tuned for more mysteries. Until next time, let the enigmas of tomorrow lull you into slumber. What secrets await in humanity's next chapter? Ponder as you rest.